for you.
The Seekers were the first Australian band to achieve major chart and sales success in the UK and the United States. They were popular during the 60s and their lineup was Judith Durham, Keith Potcher and Bruce Woodley. Well, this was their first single to chart internationally, written by Tom Springfield, the brother of Dusty Springfield. Here are the Seekers and a song on the way to the number one slot, I'll Never Find Another You.
And now on Triple H 100.1 FM and streaming live on the net at triplehfm.com.au, it's the summer of baseball covering the Sydney Major League. It's time to head to the commentary booth and your hosts Harrow, PMAC and Cam. Take it away, Harrow.
Hey! One man, one goal, one mission.
And it's good evening and welcome to the Summer of Baseball. Again, we're broadcasting live from Blue Sox Stadium in the west of Sydney at Blacktown International Sports Park. This Saturday night, the 9th of March 2013, the Blue Crew are presenting Game 2 of the Elimination Series between the Ryde Hawks, who tonight are the home team, and their visitors, the Macarthur Orioles. We're broadcasting live on video streaming, and you can get that by the State Baseball League website, which is via www.sbl.baseball.com.au. Again, that's www.sbl.baseball.com.au. You can also listen live on Triple H 100.1 FM if you're in coverage zone, and if not, you can get Triple H on internet streaming. The address is www.triplehfm.com.au and click on the Listen Live link in the top left-hand side of the screen. There's a little speaker up there. Just click on that. Again, triplehfm.com.au. If you're mobile and you have to leave the house, you can also continue to tune in via your mobile phone, whether it be an iPhone or an Android or whatever it might be. And you tune in, you download the TuneIn Radio app. That is what you get. You get on your phone, get the TuneIn Radio app, download it for free, and then you can find Triple H 100.1 FM. And now straight away you can see the plate meeting taking place right in front of us, and it's time to introduce the Summer of Baseball Blue Crew. First of all, straight up the middle, PMAC.
Yeah, good evening, Harrow. Good evening, listeners, and good evening, viewers. Yeah, it is PMAC here, and it looks like I'm only coming out of one ear, but that's all right.
That's because you're monotone.
That's correct. Monotone and also very soft, which is the way that I
You're
like
a
to
soft
be.
monotone person, PMAC.
Definitely, Harrow.
How's the weather out there? Which way is that wind blowing?
Weather out here is absolutely sensational. It is a beautiful autumnally evening here at Blacktown, and the wind is coming almost directly east. It's coming directly across the ground, as we can actually see the way the flag is coming. You can probably see it. No, I've cut the angle out just a tad, but that's all right. So these things happen, and they're here to try us, I'm sure. But all in all, I think it's still going to be a really good night here at Blacktown International Sports Park. But yeah, we'll get it happening, and as we try and do a few more adjustments as we try and get me to come out of both ears for you. That's if you want to. But anyway, over to Big Cam. He's on our left, and he's ready to rock and roll and do what he needs to do for the play-by-play.
Yeah, that's right, PMAC. Just seeing whether I'm bouncing out of both ears or whether I'm on one ear
you're
as well.
fine.
No, I seem to be okay. Yeah, plate meeting in front. The managers are done and dusted, although it looks like Jason Moyer might be heading back to the dugout a bit early. So almost all ready to get underway here. Very important game 2 of a 3-game series. The winner, of course, going on to play Borkham Hills in the Championship Series next Wednesday night. Loser is done and dusted for 2012-13.
All right, so umpires taking their positions. The plate meeting is completed, and the umpiring crew for tonight's game is behind the plate is Trent Thomas. At first base, Bob Dawes. In the middle at second base, Henry Cheslak. And at third base tonight, Bob Crawford. And of course, they'll cover the centre field, left field and right field as well. They've got the whole thing covered, all 4 of those umpires. Again, Trent Thomas, Bob Dawes, Henry Cheslak and Bobby Crawford over on the third base side. Very soon we will bring you the Ryde defensive lineup. They've just all taken the field now. Managers have been announced to the crowd, and this stands to be another crackerjack game of baseball. Interesting lineups for both sides. Ryde, Macarthur, of course, and all of the players that can be back here in Sydney from the World Baseball Classic are back. We may or may not see them appear tonight.
I reckon we're going to see some of them come through, Harrow. I'm sure we're going to see at least one of them, because I have seen the Beard, and the Beard is well and truly here at the ground. So I'm expecting to see him come through.
Yep, we'll reset your microphone, I think. PMAC, pull the plugs out, put them back in again all around the place. Juggle with that switch and see if we can get you to be a stereotype person or stereotypical. We won't have a game preview. We've done that Wednesday night, and of course we will go through that during play anyway in the first few innings. We'll give you our tips on who we think will win this game, who's going to fare well, who's going to not. I think it's going to be pretty evenly matched once again after that result on Wednesday. We're about to start the game. We will be on air for the duration of the game, plus a little bit at the end. And as always, we bring these games to you with the support of our sponsors, who we will mention in more detail shortly. But Hickman and Richard, Financial Planning, Red Stitches, Baseball and Softball Supplies, State League Baseball New South Wales, the Sydney Blue Sox, Reese Electrical, and of course our old friends at Pro Guitar and Sound. And I'm going to say something about Miracle Moves a little bit later on as well. New people on board just a little bit for a couple of games. I'm going to talk about them. We're about to get into it. So, PMAC, the defensive lineup for the Ryde team.
Yeah, the defensive lineup, it reads something like this, Harrow. At left field, it is John Hall. At centre field is Nick Dimmers. At right field is Matt Aldridge. On the infield, playing at third base, we have Greg Ardle. The shortstop is James Murphy. At second base is Tim Green. First base is Matt O'Neill. And the starting battery for the Ryde Hawks, behind the plate we have Luke Parrish. And starting on the mound we have Kento Kamiraeso. And apologies for that pronunciation, because I still don't have it correct.
Well, I'm going with Kamiraeso is what I'm going to go with. So we'll stick with that. And Kamiraeso it is with the first pitch, which is upstairs for ball one. Dane Wigg in the batter's box for the Macarthur Orioles. And he takes that first pitch. In game 1 of this series, Dane Wigg was 0 for 3 with a walk and a K2 in amongst that. And so that being the case, he takes a second ball now from Kamiraeso. Kamiraeso now rocks back, fires in a third pitch, and you're sounding louder already, P-Mac. So let's see whether that one's has sorted out your problems.
Sound like a person.
I am a person. A lovely person at that. You ask me, I'll tell you.
I'm a real boy. 2 balls, 1 strike on Dane Wigg now as Kamiraeso reaches back, fires in a fastball, a swing and a miss from Dane Wigg, and that will level the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2-2 is the count on Dane Wigg. Wigg now just backs out of the batter's box, takes his time, steps back in. Faces the next pitch, it's a change up, he swings out in front of it and he will go down on strikes. So Kamiraeso and the Hawks They strike first blood in this baseball game. Dane Wigg down on strikes to start things off.
And that will bring to the plate the designated hitter for tonight's game for the Macarthur Orioles. It is Mal Ismail. So Mal Ismail coming into the lineup for the Orioles.
So Mal Ismail steps into the left-handed batter's box. And he is ready to face Cami Areso. Cami Areso fires in a good first pitch strike on him. So that will be strike number 1 on Mal Ismail. Ismail waits now. Cami Areso to the plate. Ismail swings, fouls it off. 0-2 now on Mal Ismail. He falls behind Cami Areso. So Cami Areso, Kento Cami Areso, it is doing a very good job for the Ryde Hawks of just working around and keeping things on the level. And he gets in front of Mal Ismail 0-2, and now he can pitch around and try a little bit of different stuff. He does. He tries a change-up. It's up and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 1 away, top of the first. Ryde versus Macarthur. If Ryde win this game, they are progressing through to the championship series. A swing and a miss from Mal Ismail on a high-ish change-up from Kento Cami Areso, and he consecutively strikes out 2 of the Orioles batters to start this game off. Wigg and Ismail both gone on strikes. That'll bring to the plate for the Orioles number 2, the big third baseman, Shane Benson. Benson digs himself in now, ready to face the first pitch from Cami Areso. It is just outside for ball number 1.
And just having a quick look at Shane Benson's stats, 274 coming into this evening's game.
So Benson at 274 as Cami Areso looks for the outside edge, misses it again. So 2 straight balls now on Shane Benson. Benson waits again. Cami Areso from the wind-up. Benson rips it down the third base line, but only as far as Ardell. He'll make a long, high throw over to Matt O'Neill. It is Matt O'Neill at first base, who grabs it, gets out of the way of Shane Benson, who was barreling down the line, and that will do the Orioles 3 up and 3 down in the top of the first innings. And the Ryde Hawks, they are about to come to the plate, but we're still locked at 0-0.
And Red Stitches Baseball and Softball Supplies are Sydney's newest and only specialised baseball and softball outlet on the North Shore of Sydney. Call them on 02 9489 7007. Red Stitches are located at Shop 7, 100 Pacific Highway, Waitara, and they are open Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. On your way home, slide in and see Ashley or Andrew for a great deal on all of your baseball and softball needs. Call 02 9489 7007 or you can shop online at redstitches.com.au. Browse their massive catalogue and steal a deal. That's at redstitches.com.au. Red Stitches, of course, are proud sponsors of Triple H 100.1 FM and the Summer of Baseball.
It certainly is, Harrow, and for our listeners and viewing audience, I will actually come through the defensive lineup for the Macarthur Orioles, and this is an all-important game for the Orioles because if they don't win, they go home for the season, and that will be their season all done and dusted. So I'm sure that they're going to pull out all stops that they possibly can, and the defensive lineup for the Orioles reads this way. At left field is Shannon Hislop. Dane Wigg is the centre fielder. Kai Hislop is over at right field. Shane Benson is in the hot corner. Shannon Fogarty is the shortstop. Matt Olsen, the second baseman. Dean Hazel at first. And the starting battery for the Macarthur Orioles, Jake Webster behind the plate. And on the mound, no surprises, folks, Tyler Doran. So that is the starting lineup, and he will be facing Nick Dimmers, James Murphy, Matt O'Neill, Luke Parrish. That's the first batting order for the Ryde Hawks. And Cam, it's over to you after we've just seen one pitch and it's a strike.
First pitch in for a called strike as Doran goes to work. Second pitch must just have missed downstairs. Looked okay location-wise. Must have just missed downstairs for ball number 1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Nick Dimmers, leading things off for Ryde. Next pitch is inside. It's ripped towards Benson, who's playing way inside at third base. Gets the throw across to Dean Hazel, and there will be the first out. Playing shallow was Shane Benson. He was a little bit worried about the bunt from Nick Dimmers, so he was playing in on the grass, and we know that Shane Benson was a little bit sore after Wednesday night's game, and so obviously playing a little bit shallow just to keep Nick Dimmers honest, and Dimmers ripped one at him, He was good enough to glove it, get it to first base. First pitch to James Murphy is a pop-up into centre right. It'll go to right field, and that's Shannon Hislop who comes around. He was well covered. Dane Wigg was across there too. He could have taken it if he really wanted to, but Hislop had the good run into it. He called preference on it. Dane Wigg backed off, went behind as backup, and they get their second out with only their fourth pitch. So
I was just
four
about to make
pitches
comment
for
on that
2
one.
outs.
Yeah, I was going to make comment on that one, Cam, because it's 4 pitches, 2 out, and it's pretty as you like. It's sort of quick as 2 up, 2 down, and now we've got Matt O'Neill, first baseman, in the batting box, and he sees the first pitch, and it's in there for strike 1.
He's indeed in there for strike 1. So Matt O'Neill falls behind Tyler Doran as well. So 0-1 goes Matt O'Neill. And Doran reaches back now, pivots around that hip, finds another one, but misses downstairs. Thought he might have found strike 2. It was right across the centre of the plate, but obviously too low for home plate umpire Trent Thomas tonight to call it strike number 2.
And we have actually gone through the umpiring panel, or we'll actually go through it again.
O'Neill rips this one into right field. Good hit. He just laid back on that one, waited for it to come into his zone, and ripped it into right field. So Matt O'Neill has the first hit of the baseball game. A hit out to Shannon Hislop in right field, and Ryde have a 2-out single.
And that will bring to the plate the catcher for the Ryde Hawks, Luke Parrish. And Luke Parrish has done all the work, a majority of the work all season for the Ryde Hawks, and we've seen him throughout the semi-final series, definitely doing all the work behind the plate.
So Doran now ready to go to Luke Parrish. Has a look over at the runner, comes to the plate. Strike 1 on Luke Parrish as that one crosses the inside section of the plate.
And Trent Thomas is doing the plate duties tonight. Bobby Dawes is covering first and right field. Henry Seslak is doing second base and centre field as we just wait for the next pitch.
Yeah, the 0-1 pitch is in the exact same location to make it 0-2.
And covering third and the left field side is Bobby Crawford. So a 4-man system for all of the semi-finals, and the guys getting a good shake at State Baseball League.
So an 0-2 pitch with 2 out. The runner goes. O'Neill goes. It's slapped foul down the first base side and collected down there by Phil Ardell, who is looking after the first base coach's box for the Ryde Hawks.
Yeah, so the 4-man system, a bit unusual for the guys, so it gives them an opportunity to hone their skills and to try and get, because yes, they're used to a 2-man system, some of them are used to a 3-man system, but 4-man system, where do you stand, how do you stand next to, where's your signals, so yeah, good test for the boys.
Pick-off attempt at first base, O'Neill back comfortably. He's down in the dirt, but back comfortably. So the count is 0-2 on Luke Parrish with 2 gone, bottom of the first, no score on the board, Ryde and Macarthur. You're listening to the Summer of Baseball as the 0-2 pitch comes in, grounded up the middle. Should be an easy play at shortstop for Fogarty. He eventually gets a handle on it and steps on second base as he was heading that way anyway, and he continues his jog all the way to the dugout. So we are done with 1 full inning here at Blacktown International Sports Park, where the Macarthur Orioles and the Ryde Hawks are still locked at 0-0.
Hi, I'm Jace. Join me for a mix of music, sports, information and entertainment on Wednesday Drive on Triple HFM 100.1. I'll bring you fresh new music along with sports from home and around the world, including NASCAR, IndyCar and ARCA racing, baseball, netball and more. Plus news on the hour, traffic and trains every 15 minutes, weather, stock market reports and the latest fuel prices. Wednesday Drive, 5 PM on Triple HFM 100.1.
G'day, Lane Beachley for Ryde, recording artists, actors and athletes against drink driving. Being just a little bit off balance when riding a big wave can lead to a pretty nasty wipeout. Being just a little bit over the limit when you're on the road can have the same effect. You could wipe out yourself or somebody else. So when you go for a few drinks, organise a designated driver, catch public transport or arrange to stay the night somewhere close, because wipeouts are nothing to be proud of.
And welcome back to Blue Sox Stadium in the west of Sydney here, where we are just about to go to the top of the second innings. Ryde out on the field, and the lead-off batter for Macarthur will be Shannon Hislop, who's just approaching the plate right now. So we've seen that no score result here so far through this game, through the first innings, and an arm wrestle has already started. So stepping into the plate, Shannon Hislop.
Yeah, it is Shannon Hislop who will lead things off for the Macarthur Orioles. And he's just getting ready to go out there now. Steps into the left-handed batter's box. And it is still Kento Kamiareso on the mound for the Ryde Hawks. He reaches back. First pitch of the second innings is up and out for ball number 1. Kamiareso, having a look at the stats, hasn't done a lot of pitching in first grade, so I'll have to see if I can bring up some second grade stats and let you know how he's going in the second grade stats.
As we just see Shannon Hislop take a wild swing,
Big,
so there
big
must be
hack,
a lot of movement on that pitch.
Big hack. He's got 2 innings pitched in first grade for the season. So I'll have a look at the second grade stats if I can bring them up. But Hislop goes after another one, hits a high fly ball into right field. Should be no problems out there for Matt Aldridge. He takes a comfortable catch out there in right field, and Hislop is gone to start the second.
Yeah, so that's 4 up, 4 down for the Macarthur Orioles at this stage, and it will bring to the plate the left fielder tonight, Kai Hislop. So as you've said before, Cam, one Hislop to another. There was Shannon who flied out to 9 or right field, and now it's Kai Hislop, the left fielder, in the batting box at the moment. As the first pitch comes in, and it's in there again for strike 1.
Yep, so Kamiareso doing a good job of getting ahead of the batters and making it a little bit more difficult for them to come back after a big breaking pitch on that one. Misses down and inside. 1-1 the count on Hislop of the Kai variety. Kai waits now. The 1-1 pitch is about a 56-footer. It wasn't even a 59-footer. It was about a 56-foot cutter that landed in the dirt and took a wicked left-hand bounce, went away from Luke Parrish and all the way back to the back wall.
Or a leg spin if you're playing the other sport.
It certainly was.
And next pitch is, again, a ball. So we've got 2 balls, 1 strike, I believe.
Yeah, just having a look. Kamiareso with an ERA of 1.5 in second grade. The next pitch comes in. It is a called strike. 2-2 now on Kai Hislop. And that is only through 5.2 innings pitched. So he may not even be a second grade. It might be an under-18s kid that they're giving a start out here tonight. So we'll have a look down there in a minute too. 2-2 pitch on its way from Kamiareso, ripped to the left side of the diamond, covered by Ardill. Again, we'll have to make a hard throw to O'Neill. O'Neill hangs onto the bag when he grabs that one, and that will do out number 2 for the Orioles here in the second innings. 2 up, 2 down, 5 up, 5 down for the Hawks. Kamiareso doing a good job getting things started out there for the Ryde Hawks.
And also the defence for the Ryde Hawks is certainly backing up the pitcher at this early stage of Game 2 of the semi-finals between the Macarthur Orioles and the Ryde Hawks here at Blacktown International Sports Park.
Matt Olsen in the batter's box now for the Orioles. The first pitch comes in. It is called strike on Matt Olsen, taking all the way. And Kamiareso has not played in the under-18s. So he must be just a lower grade player, but he'll get another ball hit to the left side. Again, Ardill had an opportunity to get to that one. Couldn't stay down on it and grab it, and the ball gets out into left field. It'll be interesting to see how that's scored. Probably a base hit. Ardill did have a play at it, but it was still going to be a difficult play for him to make.
He was also waiting for a gentle bounce, and probably the bounce that he's used to at ELS, which is the home ground of the Ryde Hawks, and a nice friendly even bounce came up, but not to be in this situation, and as a result it went underneath his glove and in between both he and James Murphy, and trickled out to Hall out at left field. And now we're just seeing Shane Fogarty, the shortstop, in the batting box at the moment, and he sees one pitch and it's in there for ball 1.
So it has gone up as a hit on the scoreboard, so Matt Olsen will have the first hit of the game for the Macarthur Orioles.
As we gather our composure whilst Cameron does his sneezing.
There's a little bit of sneezing, there's a bit of allergies get in. Another one chopped to the right side. Ardill will this time go to second base, where Tim Green will cover the bag for the force play, and they will take the force at second base. So Olsen will be the third out on the force. Fogarty will get the fielder's choice. Dean Hazel will lead off the third innings for the Orioles, but they are done through 2. They cannot add anything to the scoreboard, and the Hawks will come up in the bottom of the second innings shortly.
Now, when you need financial advice, contact Hickman and Richard Financial Planning. They have over 25 years' experience in the finance business. Call 9876 0177 for advice on investing, superannuation, personal protection and business partnership insurance, but especially financial planning. Hickman and Richard Financial Planning. Give Sean a call on 9876 0177 for an initial consultation. HROP are proud sponsors of the Summer of Baseball broadcast. And if you'd like to become a sponsor of the Summer of Baseball broadcast.
The trumpets are booming out.
Certainly are. They certainly are. So we are looking for more sponsors. So if you'd like to promote your business, why not sponsor the Summer of Baseball? We do cover a global audience, and we do have the numbers and the figures to support that, and the emails as well. So and we can tailor make a package to suit your needs. So contact us, baseball@triplehfm.com.au. Harrow.
Yes, P-Mac, I'm in the middle of
Get me out of this.
folding up with laughter.
Get me out of
Yeah,
this.
tailor make a passage if you like.
I know.
So what are your tips, gentlemen? Macarthur to hold on. A very different Macarthur lineup from my view. Shane Fogarty back in the lineup there, and difference in their batting order. They got Mal Ismail back in the starting lineup of batting as the designated hitter. Jake Webster shuffled down to position 9. So a few subtle rearrangements, and I think it makes Macarthur stronger.
Yeah, I still actually will be going and sticking with my guns as far as the Ryde taking it into.
Ryde to do it into. Okay.
Yeah, I've got a feeling Ryde may scrape away with this after Wednesday night. So that's where I'll stand. But in the batter's box is the designated hitter for the Ryde Hawks, Daniel Illingworth. Has a count of 2 balls and 1 strike on him as he rips one to the third base. Benson stays down, grabs it, makes a throw across, a beautiful throw across from to Dean Hazel from Shane Benson. And there is the first out here in the bottom of the second innings. It's been all third base tonight so far. Greg Ardell's come up with, I think, 3 plays so far. Indeed, he has come up with a couple of plays for Ryde. Shane Benson now with a couple of plays of his own for Macarthur coming back. So it has been a third base-a-thon to start this one off so far.
A left field side, you reckon?
Indeed, as Greg Ardell now steps into the plate for Ryde. Takes the first pitch down and out. I found Kento Camareso's pitching stats, or the majority of his pitching stats. He's been a third-grade pitcher with a record of 3 of 3, with an ERA of 3.15 on 35 innings pitched.
Okay.
So that's in third grade this season. So getting a call up to do a little bit of work in first grade as Ardell rips that one foul down the third base side. The count will go to 1 ball and 2 strikes on him.
You've got to be happy with that if you're a young kid. Well, I'm assuming that he's youngish, knowing because the Ryde club going through the rebuilding.
1-2 pitcher swung on and missed from Ardell. He's gun on strikes. He heads back to the dugout.
Yeah, so as you see, the young guys that are coming through the club. So he's done a lot of work in the third grade side of things. So to get the call up, good lot of trust that it's actually been shown by manager Dalgans and O'Neill.
Absolutely. So Doran now throws this one high and inside on Matt Aldridge.
Matt Aldridge, the right fielder for the Ryde Hawks this evening.
And Aldridge with a batting average of 244 for the season as he allows the second one to pass, and that is, I thought, also inside. I thought it was 2 straight balls, but could be 1 and 1. I'll stick with my 2 straight balls at the moment as Doran rips one in, and that one is fouled off. And that will be, I believe, 2 balls and 1 strike. I'm sure Trent Thomas will give us an update after this ball that just hit the top of the grandstand. It came down into the infield, and Jake Webster's got a few balls there to hand to Trent Thomas in his gloves. So
yeah, he takes one out of his back pocket as well that he was saving for later. So
puts it up as 1 ball and 2 strikes. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is on Matt Aldridge. And the 1-2 pitch on its way from Doran just misses down and outside for 2 and 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 out in this, the top. No, it is in fact the bottom of the second innings. Curveball is just fouled off by Matt Aldridge. I think he picked that one late and just decided to go after it because I got a feeling it was going to be a called strike if he hadn't have gone after it. As it is, the count will remain at 2 and 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Matt Aldridge. 2 out, no score on the board, Macarthur and Ryde. If Ryde win, they're off to the championship. If Macarthur win, we're back here tomorrow afternoon. Swing and a miss from Aldridge. Down on strikes he goes, and so do the Hawks. Their second innings is complete. And after 2 completed innings, Tyler Doran and Kento Camiaso are doing great jobs on the mound for their teams irrespectively, and well completed 2 innings with no score on the board.
Triple H local community events.
Come down to the 2013 Greek Festival and experience the food, fun and festivities. There will be live music and entertainment, traditional Greek dance, authentic Greek food, as well as art and craft shops and carnival rides for the kids. Join us Sunday, 10th of March from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Greenway Park, Cherrybrook, hosted by the St. Rapon Greek Orthodox Church, Greek Orthodox Archdiocese of Australia.
Want to promote your next event to the Hornsby-Ku-ring-gai area? Triple H FM supports local community groups and non-profit organisations with regular community service announcements. For more information, call Triple H on 9489 3934 or email promotion@triplehfm.com.au.
Welcome back to Blue Sox Stadium, where the Ryde Hawks and Macarthur Orioles are doing battle here. And after 2 completed innings, the scores are locked at 0-0. PMAC is disgusted with me because I missed turning my switch on.
You're the professional.
I reckon the viewers and the listeners didn't even notice
that
my voice was missing for 5 seconds. Or less. All right, here we are, back to the top of the 3rd innings now, and Kento Camareso throws first pitch to the leadoff for the Orioles, Dean Hazel, his first at-bat tonight. Hazel, the first baseman, steps back up to the plate now. 1 ball, no strikes. Kento comes to the plate now, and he drives it down the third base line, right inside the line there, Dean Hazel.
Great play.
Great bat. And then across the line from a ball retrieved by Greg Ardle, right on the line in deep third base position, across the diamond to Matt O'Neill, drags him off first base, but he is able to get that tag onto Dean Hazel and get the all-important out. I'm sure you will have seen it on the video footage for those that have got the viewing, but on the radio, that's exactly what it was. It was a great shot right across the diamond and a great at-bat.
Yeah, great play by Greg Ardle. That's the hardest play in the world for a third baseman to make. He was hard up against the line, on his backhand, on his haunches, had to pick it up and had to make a good throw across to O'Neill, and he got the throw across so quickly that even though O'Neill was dragged off the line, he was able still just to ride the bump of Dean Hazel for the out.
Jake Webster at the plate now with a count of 2 strikes on him straight away. So 2 strikes on Jake Webster from Kento, and Webster gets a line drive to right field safely out there and stands at first base, hustling up the line, drives that over to position 9. Matt Aldridge standing out there. Nothing Matt Aldridge could do about that. Simple line drive to deep right field. So great at bat from Jake Webster. He becomes the runner for the Macarthur Orioles, top of the 4th. Top of the 3rd.
Yeah, and that shuffle around by putting Jake down on batting in the 9 hole is probably a good move from the Macarthur Orioles, because he seemed to be struggling. Is probably an understatement. His last couple of games for the Macarthur Orioles being up in the lineup, but now sort of dropping him down a little bit more, a little bit of pressure off him, and all he's got to do is just make contact. And as they say, what is it? Number 9 batter is your second lead-off. So now we go back to the top of the order for Dane Wigg.
Well, he's done a good job with that, PMAC. Dane Wigg, as you just called, top of the order, takes first pitch for a strike outside edge from Camareso. Kento Camareso, as Cameron mentioned, we haven't seen much of him up here in first grade, but gee, he's doing a very good job through the first 3 innings of this game here, game 2 of the final series between Macarthur and Ryde. For a 3rd grader who's done limited pitching, he's doing a very, very good job. So they must have been training him somewhere in the back room.
And just to sort of add a little bit of numbers to the comments that I was making about Jake Webster, coming into tonight's game, he was 0 for 12.
Runner goes, and it's an overthrow over the top of second baseman Tim Green from Luke Parrish at catcher, and Webster is able to slide under that throw safely, very easily in the end, but a good slide from Jake Webster leaves him safe at second.
Yeah, it certainly was. So, 0 for 12 coming into this evening's game, and he was batting in the number 2 hole.
Wow.
So, moving him down the line, down in the order, a very good move, in my opinion, from the Macarthur Orioles.
Definitely paid dividends. So the count on Dane Wigg, 1 ball and 1 strike. There's 1 out in the top of the 3rd innings as Wigg steps back up to the plate. Kento Camareso, the pitcher, takes the signal off Luke Parrish, the catcher, checks the runner. Comes to the plate now, driven foul down the right side, straight through the first base coach's box, where Peter Jones takes a tumble to get out of the way.
That's the fastest Jonesy's moved there for a while.
I think so, but it was all down.
That's all right. Gravity-assisted falls.
Gravity works.
There's no lateral movement there.
Get down flat.
Dane Wigg still at the plate now. Count of 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And Dane Wigg, a guy who's probably due for a decent hit because he was hitting the ball all over the park, but he was hitting it to where the fielders were.
At least he said it after the K2.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Too low for another ball. Full count now. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
You guys are hard.
On full count from Kento. Kento has a look at that runner there at second, Jake Webster. Tempted to get more of a lead. Pivots are well back. You can see all of that on the video shot there. So Camarasa comes to the plate again now with a full count pitch. Camarasa tries to catch it and cannot make it. That one gets through. Webster goes to third base easily, and it is Dane Wigg standing safely at first with a single to centre field.
Yeah, it was one of those things. I thought Camarasa had it cleanly, but
I thought it went in his glove too, PMac.
I just thought, okay,
Look,
he's got down and he's got it, and tunnel ball type thing. But end of the day, it goes all the way out to Nick Dimmers at centre field, and it puts runners in the corners. A chance for the Macarthur Orioles to actually try and get at least one run across the plate and take the lead, or do the Ryde Hawks actually shut things down and turn a double play through the pivots. But we will wait and see. Time will tell. We've got Mal Ismail, who designated hitter job tonight. His first at-bat was a K2, and we'll see what he's going to do now as the first pitch comes in.
And a swing and a miss there from Mal Ismail, the designated hitter. Brings up a swinging strike there from Kento Camarasa. So Ismail now, as you can see on screen, a big, strong left-handed hitter. Typically hits opposite field as well, Mal Ismail, from memory. Get their signals off Coach Moyer at third base there. Jason Moyer has been working this team very, very hard, putting them under a lot of attempted plays during this playoff season, the postseason. It's really testing their ability to knuckle down and do the job for the Orioles.
Well, he's actually laid down a couple of bunting with 2 strikes on them, a couple of hit-run plays, and it has actually been good to see a mixing up of the standard baseball.
Absolutely putting his players to the test and demanding for them to perform at a higher level to create runs to try and win these games. It hasn't always worked, but he hasn't backed away from his strategy.
Got to give it a go.
Yeah, absolutely. Luke Parrish goes out and has a chat to his pitcher, just to line him up there so he doesn't get all crossed up, comes back and thanks the umpire for the time. So no balls, 2 strikes on Mal Ismail.
1 out, runners in the corners, and score still 0-all.
Kento gets ready to come to the plate, steps off the back, and I think Parrish might have been having a chat about the situation with runners on the corners, how they're going to defend them and what he wants his pitcher to do.
Yeah, probably just reminding him not to give away a balk. Don't worry if the runner takes the bag on you. Just get through your pitching, your motions and your delivery properly and directly to the plate. And if we get an extra out through a double play or anything like that, then it's a bonus. Let's not give up anything easy. Or do anything wrong. Just get through your motions and we'll see how we go.
And it is, as you say, because Luke Parrish has gone out to him, because Camarasa has done a lot of work in 3rd grade, so taking the step to 1st grade, it is a rather large step.
1-2 pitch goes wild off Luke Parrish, goes to the fence, charging across home plate is Jake Webster, and they do score the opening run of this game through Jake Webster, charging across on the wild pitch. Luke Parrish couldn't handle it, and that's exactly what he told Camarasa he didn't want to have happen. And Dane Wigg also advances to second base.
Yeah, so that's the first run across the plate for the Macarthur Orioles, and for those that were here, or just realised that
Ching, the account's open.
Yeah, I just realised me making the comment, but for the people that were actually here at the ground a little bit earlier, they would have seen that that was almost identical as the way that the Manly Eagles got their first run across the plate.
Yeah, PMac, you might be able to give us a summary of that under-18s final a little bit later in the break, as Mal Ismail takes a swing and a miss on a very low pitch from Kento and goes down on strike. So a swinging strike on Mal Ismail brings up the second out in the top of the 3rd innings.
But it also brings a visit to the mound by manager Dal Gans and also Matt O'Neill. They're just having a bit of a chat. So
maybe you could give us the rundown on that under-18s game and the final result there. Very tight game.
It was an extremely tight game, but there was match-up between the Cronulla Sharks and the Manly Eagles, and poor old Cole the Shark, he was sort of having a couple of conniptions there a little bit of the time, because the Manly Eagles, they busted out to, it was a 3-run lead in, it was up to the fourth inning. I think it was about the fourth inning, and the Manly Eagles, they were ahead 3-0. Then the Sharkies, they were able to pull one back, and then they pulled another couple back, and then it was 3-3. It was locked at 3-3 for the majority of the game, as we've got Shane Benson in the batting box, and I'll continue my summary shortly.
All right, Benson steps up to the plate now. Kento gets ready to throw the pitch, steps off the back. Runner at second base. In scoring position is Dane Wigg. So a bit of pressure on here now for the Ryde Hawks. Macarthur lead this game by 1-0 over the Ryde Hawks. We're in the top of the third. Kento comes to the plate and gets called strike straight through the middle. Benson didn't want anything to do with it, so left it alone for the called strike. No balls and 1 strike on Benson. Kento Camareso checks that runner at second. For those who got video, you can see it out there. Throws low and misses the zone down the bottom half. Evens the count at 1-1. Benson steps up again. Cool character, Shane Benson. Had a good season with the Sydney Blue Sox this year. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Kento Camareso. Benson gets all of it. He drives it deep centre field and will not get to it. It's over the back of Nick Dimmers. Dimmers has to go all the way to the warning track. In fact, in the middle of the warning track, and that drives in the run of Dane Wigg. Macarthur go ahead by 2-0 in this game now. Top of the third innings, Shane Benson gets a double to centre field right over the head of Nick Dimmers, and what a long drive that was.
Yeah, big bomb.
Yeah, I think realistically, had they been playing at Gilchrist or EL, actually it wouldn't have been.
It's a long way in Gilchrist, trust me.
But I think that would have been pretty close to going over the fence.
Yeah, I don't know what centre field is at Gilchrist, distance-wise.
About 380-ish.
Okay, well, we've got Shannon Hislop at the plate now. Can he keep this innings alive for the Orioles? First pitch, fastball down the bottom inside corner from Camareso, gets a called strike.
Yeah, Shannon Hislop's first at-bat was a fly 9.
So 0-1 pitch now. Runner at second is Shane Benson. That's inside and misses the zone, and it takes Luke Parrish off balance to the right-hand side there. I think one of his cleats might have just dug in a little bit in that loose bit of soil around home plate.
Well, I think it's also a case of the movement that Camareso is getting.
Getting a fair bit, isn't he? Fastball inside again. Exactly the same place where the last one was called for a ball. So 2 balls and 1 strike on Shannon Hislop. Shane Benson gets a lead at second base there. You can see that in the distance. And another long drive to centre field, but this is going straight into the glove of Nick Dimmers. He held and then he had to adjust. He lost sight and had to back up 5 metres to make a clean catch of that one on Shannon Hislop. So a fly ball to centre field there brings up the third out, Shannon Hislop, and that is the end of the top of the third innings for the Macarthur Orioles. They lead this game though 2-0 halfway through 3 innings.
Hey, and going back to the earlier game here, which was the under-18s qualifying for the grand final. It was between the Cronulla Sharks and the Manly Eagles, and as I did get to, it was about the fourth inning. Then it was all locked at 3-3 for a good majority of the remainder of the game until the bottom of the 8th inning, and then there was it was remiss of me for not actually taking the name of the batter. He actually hit an absolute screamer that rolled out towards the fence at centre field, sort of in between right and centre field, and regulation stand-up triple, but unfortunately for the Sea Eagle side of things, on the relay throw, they thought they had a play at third base and they didn't, and the relay just threw it well and truly into the dugout. It was certainly unintentional.
So who won, PMAC?
The Cronulla Sharks won the game.
By 1 run.
By 1 run, but it took the whole 9 innings before actually result was actually carried, and yes, there was Cole the Happy Shark is what we actually saw
All right,
earlier.
more news. The other night, on Wednesday night, we saw Nick Dimmers have an at-bat and get struck out, was not happy with the outcome, and threw his bat up into the back net here at Blue Sox Stadium. We made comments about it. I made comments about it. I made comments about what I thought I saw the coach doing from the dugout, who was the batter on deck at the same time, and we thought it was pretty ordinary actions from both Nick Dimmers and the Ryde Hawks generally. I received an email the next day from Matt O'Neill, the manager of the Hawks, and he assured me that Nick Dimmers was reprimanded for that by Steve Dalgans, who was in the dugout. Matt O'Neill, being the batter on deck, was not able to do that, of course. After the game, they warned all of the Ryde Hawks players about their responsibilities and the code of conduct, and they have fined internally within the Ryde Hawks club, they have fined Nick Dimmers for his actions. So he said it is not condoned by the Ryde Hawks as an organisation, and they did take the corrective action the next day.
Nice to see.
That is pleasing to hear, because it wasn't pretty.
Yeah, strong work from the club. As we see, change
John
pages.
Hall.
John Hall, I thought it was him, the tall fella, bolting up the line to first base, only to be given out on that ball. A 1-3, as we saw Tyler Doran get across there and get that ball retrieved across to Dean Hazel.
Yeah, a regulation comeback that came straight back to Tyler Doran off the Q end of the bat, and that will bring to the plate second baseman Tim Green.
Tim Green, of course, steps up to the plate again. Regular second baseman there for the Hawks. First pitch from Doran misses down low for a ball. So good fast action there, Tyler Doran. He really gets that arm around fast. Ground ball now to shortstop Shane Fogarty. Fogarty doesn't make mistakes with them. Covered that quickly across to Dean Hazel and brings up the second out on the 6-3 play. 2 up, 2 down now. The Ryde Hawks in this bottom of the third innings. So shortstop Fogarty doing a great job. He had a lot of ground to cover from deep back on the Dollarite to get across onto the cut grass section just in front of the second base bag. So Nick Dimmers at the plate now for the Hawks. Called strike on that first fastball pitch from Tyler Doran.
Yeah, it must have been a bit of a movement on that he wasn't expecting.
Well, he actually jumped back out of the box, didn't he?
Yeah.
And the ball twisted straight into the strike zone. Yeah, he's sliding that out inside out, turning Dimmers inside out for a second strike now, as Dimmers just couldn't get to that pitch. So not so much dropping it, he's just turning the ball across flat in the air. So a slider away, and that rings Dimmers up. That was certainly outside edge, no question about it on Nick Dimmers. So Dimmers goes out, strike out now, so 3 up, 3 down, the Ryde Hawks in the bottom of the third innings. So after 3 completed innings here at Blue Sox Stadium, we find Macarthur Orioles leading the Ryde Hawks by 2-0.
Johnny Lee and the classic Rock Express.
Love, love me do. You know I love you.
Johnny Lee and the classic Rock Express.
There's gonna be a heartache tonight. A heartache tonight, I know.
Johnny Lee and the classic Rock Express. Johnny Lee and the classic Rock Express, playing the hits from the 60s, 70s and 80s. Good times, great music. Thursday afternoons from 12 on Triple H 100.1.
Rostrum Hornsby has been training people in the Ku-ring-gai-Hornsby Council areas for over 20 years.
If you want to learn how to speak before a group, conquer nerves, lead a meeting, give a presentation, or debate a point of view in a supportive environment, we meet at Hornsby Library every first, third and fifth Thursday at 7:30 p.m.
Just go to the Rostrum website, rostrum.com.au, and look up Club 8 Hornsby, or just show up for the meeting.
Rostrum, celebrating 80 years of promoting effective communication and freedom of speech.
A community service announcement from Triple H.
Where you are listening to the Summer of Baseball, and it's about 7:45 of 8 o'clock on Saturday evening, this wonderful autumnally evening, as the sun has just gone down the mountains and the cloud cover is pretty much non-existent. And here at Blacktown, just on our left, there's another the strange sport that's going on in the background that all we see is the lights, and they are spectacular lights, that's for sure.
Aerial ping pong over there.
Yeah, but there has been a pitching change made by the Ryde Hawks.
Pitching change?
There certainly is. So Camareso, he's done and dusted for the night after his 3 complete innings, giving up 4 hits, 2 runs, no walks, 3 Ks. He faced about 18 batters, or close enough to it. And now it's Jeremy Lockwood coming to the mound. And he will be facing Kai Hislop, and the first pitch is in there for strike 1. Harrow.
You might as well keep going, PMAC. That was a very good call of the play-by-play off the first pitch of Lockwood. Lockwood ready now to come to the plate, and Kai Hislop again. Too low that time with that pitch, so 1 ball and 1 strike from Jeremy Lockwood. Another young guy up there on the mound being given an opportunity to show his wares in first grade post-season baseball. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and I think the next one missed inside, so it'll be 2 balls, 1 strike. So Kai Hislop patiently at the plate now. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That one high and inside again for, I believe, 3 balls and 1 strike is the count. So will he let Hislop go? His first pitch was a good one, fastball located. And next one, called strike, he did change there. He brought it back in and brought the height down. Kai Hislop comes back and smiles at the umpire, goes, I thought I could have got away with that one, sir.
Not to be.
Full count pitch now, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Who wins this battle? Jeremy Lockwood, the fresh pitcher on the mound, or Kai Hislop, the seasoned Oriole at the plate? Hislop tries one down the third base side into the glove of Greg Ardle. Ardle across to Matt O'Neill at first base. No mistake there, and they get that lead off out. Kai Hislop down on a ground ball to third base and across to O'Neill to bring up that out. So 1 up, 1 down. The Orioles.
Oh, sorry, Harrow.
Right.
Just sort of coming through with some of the stats for Jeremy Lockwood. ERA of around about 4.5 coming into this evening's game, thereabouts. So as we just see the first pitch come in to Matt Olsen.
For a strike.
In there, strike 1. 5.4. He's got a 1-0 record. He's only thrown 3.1 innings, I have at the moment.
In first grade.
In first grade. So he's probably done a lot of work down in second.
4 innings in second grade, pitched for a 2.25 ERA, and I'm chasing the third grade stats now, maybe another third grader.
Or an 18. So let's see what we see out of Lockwood as a ground ball now from Matt Olsen down the line to Ardle again. Ardle rushes that throw, gets it to O'Neill, but not in time. Matt Olsen beats it out. He's got a great set of wheels, young Matty Olsen, and he gets up there at first base safely. So that'll be a single to Greg Ardle at third base. So Olsen, runner on base now for the Orioles. I thought a very good call. Olsen really got up, and we saw Ardle charge in on that ball, had to take a step off balance and rush the throw across to first. Just couldn't get it.
Yeah, and that will bring to the plate Shane Fogarty, the shortstop, who got on board courtesy of a fielder's choice, and that was in the second inning. As the runner goes, a hit-run play.
And it certainly is. It gets through O'Neill at first base. A diving Matt O'Neill cannot cut that ball off. And the runner Olsen turns the corner at second, gets all the way to third safely. Shane Fogarty safely at first with a single to right field. Runners on the corners now for the Macarthur Orioles, and they're on the attack once again with only 1 out, top of the 4th.
Yeah, it's put runners in the corners, but this is the type of game that you're probably expecting, Harrow, as far as the Macarthur Orioles, because you know they're not going to lay down and die. They are going to do the utmost to actually keep wheels in motion and keep the scoreboard ticking over. They've got runners in the corners with 1 out, and we've got a clean set of wheels. Matt Olsen standing at third base and Shane Fogarty standing at first. And the new pitcher, Jeremy Lockwood, not getting any opportunity to get himself set into some form of rhythm. So the Macarthur Orioles are really just trying to start to turn some of the screws.
Well, I can tell you, Harrow, looking through all of the stats for all of the grades on the State Baseball League website, Lockwood has thrown a total of 7 innings this season.
Wow.
4 in third grade and 3.1 in first. 4 in second grade and 3.1 in first grade, and that's it.
Wow.
So
okay.
Maybe he's there just to do a couple of innings.
Hasn't thrown
so
it all
they
in.
can get to someone else.
The Ryde bullpen is
18s.
busy already. The Ryde bullpen is busy. They're planning on another guy coming in very, very soon.
I did notice Luke Wilkins head up there sort of halfway through the first innings.
Yep.
As though he was running a little bit late. He got a big round of applause when he got down to the bullpen. Everyone sort of welcoming him down there. So maybe he is their episode a little bit later on.
Lockwood comes to the plate for called strike again now on Dean Hazel.
And allowed steal by Luke Parrish. So Shane Fogarty He's moved into scoring position, so that means first base is left open at the moment.
Yep.
And it's 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Olsen at third, Shane Fogarty at second base, Orioles on the attack, Dean Hazel at the plate with a count of 1-2. Comes to the plate again now, Lockwood. That ball almost got past Luke Parrish. If another one gets to the fence, there'll be another run scored. Olsen is ready down that line. He is on the attack, well and truly.
And Matt O'Neill, the first baseman, he's just on the edge of the grass, so he's expecting something to come his way, and he's going to cut the runner off if they're going to home.
Lockwood gets Hazel with a swing and a miss. Drop third strike and put out as Luke Parrish picks that ball up and just tags Dean Hazel, who is standing stationary at home plate. So the second out now, Dean Hazel on, what do you call it, PMAC? Not K2. A drop third strike?
That was a K2.
Oh, just a straight K2.
Yeah, he picked the ball up, tagged him, strike out.
Unless he throws it up to first base, it really doesn't make too much of a difference.
Doesn't change anything.
Because then it would have just been a K2-3. So as we're going to see, manager Dalgans and O'Neill have a bit of a powwow on the mound again. But before that pitch was made, I saw Phil Ardell come running down from the bullpen and just have a quick word to Mr. Dalgans, and sort of as if to say, yep, the pitching staff is ready. And it looks like young Mr. Wilson.
Wilkins?
Wilkins.
Yeah, I'd say he was just buying some time. Lockwood was buying time for Wilkins to have a full...
Where did Wilson from?
A full warm-up.
Television.
So I'd say that Wilkins, now that he's done a complete warm-up in the bullpen,
is ready
under the eye of Phil Ardell, has been given the okay to head out to the mound.
Okay, so we've got Dean Hazel was the second out there now in the top of the fourth innings. We've got 2 out, we've got 2 runners on base, and the change of pitcher. And we're just waiting confirmation for that. It is Luke Wilkins, 72, I believe.
You've got the lineup, Harry.
Yeah, it's right beside you. It is Luke Wilkins, number 72. And as you said, Cam, it appears he's come from work, possibility, and or held up elsewhere. So number 72, Luke Wilkins out there, probably the intended starter for the Ryde Hawks.
It's not easy to get into Blacktown tonight.
Well, it isn't. And you've
got
to park miles away and then walk to get here because there's no parking.
You've got as you said, you've got the AFL over on the back diamond on the big ground over the back where the cricket and the AFL is played. You've got is it Top Gear on at Eastern Creek?
Ah, yes.
It's one thing to have a pass to get in, but you've still got to find somewhere to park your
exactly
car.
Right. So it's not an easy job to get out here tonight and find places to park. And so Wilkins is here anyway. He's on the mound. We're standing in the top of the fourth innings with Macarthur leading it by 2-0, but they have runners at second and third with 2 out here in the top of the fourth inning.
I've got to say, I'm pretty impressed with the 2 guys that did the job for Ryde up front tonight.
Two young blokes that are lower graders and not regular starting pitchers.
They've done a very good job, realistically.
Yeah, because Jeremy Lockwood, he threw .2 of an inning for 2 hits, no runs, no walks, 1 strikeout, and faced 4 batters. So again, there was just middle order relief. It's probably a good way to describe it. As Luke Wilkins throws his first pitch
to Jake Webster. Jake Webster now misses. That is inside and high on Webster for a ball. So 1 ball and no strikes on Jake Webster.
And Jake Webster, he got the single to get things underway to right field. His first at bat. And next pitch comes in, and it's in there for strike 1. And don't forget, there still are runners out there. We've got Matt Olsen standing at third and Shane Fogarty at second, and it is 2 out. And Macarthur Orioles have got a 2-run buffer at the moment.
Yeah, certainly not over for the Orioles yet with Jake Webster at the plate. So 1-1 is the count. Wilkins comes in fastball high, misses the zone, takes it to 2 balls and 1 strike. So, Wilkins has warmed up. He has got some pace on that pitch already. And it just sets a different tone in this game now with Wilkins on the mound. Can he keep the attack of the Orioles down and prevent them scoring a run here in this top of the fourth? They're certainly under threat. They lead Ryde by 2-0 after 3 innings. We're in the top of the fourth with 2 out.
And as we saw, the next pitch came in, and Jake Webster was swinging blindly at it because he just could not catch up to it. It was just gas, absolute gas. But Luke Wilkins comes into the game with an ERA of 4.19 with an 8-3 win-loss. He's started 8 of the 19 games that he has appeared in, thrown 62.1 innings and given up 74 hits.
And a swing and a miss now on Webster as Wilkins just flat out blows the third strike past him. So another big swing and a miss from Jake Webster, a K2, and that is Jake Webster out. The third out for the Orioles in the top of the fourth. They score no runs, but they do lead this game halfway through the fourth innings by 2-0 over the Ryde Hawks.
Red Stitches Baseball and Softball Supplies are Sydney's newest and only specialised baseball and softball outlet on the North Shore. Call them 9489 7007. Red Stitches located Shop 7100 Pacific Highway, Waitara, and they're open Monday to Friday 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. on Saturdays. So on your way home, slide in and see Ashley or Andrew for a great deal on all your baseball and softball needs. Or, as I said, call them 9489 7007. Alternatively, you can shop online at www.redstitches.com.au, browse their massive catalogue, maybe even steal a deal. And looking on the website, you can actually steal a deal because they have some great run-out end-of-season specials going on at the moment for both softball and baseball sides of things. So jump online, www.redstitches.com.au, have a look at the catalogue and steal a deal. Red Stitches are proud sponsors of Triple H 100.1 FM and the Summer of Baseball broadcasts.
And PMAC, I said earlier that I would make mention of Miracle Movers. The Miracle Movers, as you guys know, did some relocation work for us back in November for myself and my wife, where there was a home unit flooded. They had to evacuate it on a Sunday morning. And no problem, called them up. Within an hour, they had a couple of men in a truck there and moved the place, emptied it so it could be dried and cleaned and everything. Well, this week, we had another miracle required. We'd purchased a big divan bed that we couldn't get into the home unit. Rang them up, guess what? They found a way and worked another miracle. They got a huge lounge in. They only had to remove the whole door of the home unit to get it in. And I'm talking about the fixed panels as well as the sliding ones from outside the balcony. Ground ball now to second base by James Murphy. And Murphy out on that 4-3 play. James Murphy came up there to bat, the second baseman, the shortstop for the Ryde Hawks, and just got a hard hit ground ball across to Matty Olsen across to Hazel, and there's the first out. James Murphy, 1 up, 1 down, the Ryde Hawks.
More importantly, Harrow, it's 11 up and 11 down for Matt O'Neill.
Perfect so far, aren't they?
Close enough to it, but Matt O'Neill in the batting box at the moment, and the first pitch is in there for strike one.
Matt O'Neill's been the only one who had the base hit out to right field at his first at-bat. He's been the only one all day to get aboard for Ryde.
As we are in the bottom of the fourth inning.
And now 1 ball and 1 strike from Tyler Doran to Matt O'Neill. Gee, the Mozzies are bad in here tonight, aren't they?
Not wrong.
Yeah, getting all over us. We'll have to spray it out again in the end of the inning.
I actually did spray.
O'Neill now, 1 ball, 1 strike. Swing and a miss on that one on the left-hander from Tyler Doran as he moves that ball through the strike zone. He really put some shape on that. Doran has this knack of mixing a curveball with a slider. He just gets that ball to twist and turn as it heads into the home plate area. Doran now throws it one outside, and it's caught by catcher Jake Webster. Matt O'Neill called out on strikes and just looks shocked at umpire Trent Thomas, but it was there or thereabouts. Let me tell you, that's the one you got to go after.
Again, you got 2 strikes on you. If you're going to sit there and look at it, you're not going to do yourself any favours whatsoever in any of the leagues.
Well, it was just the shape of the pitch. You called it early, PMAC. He just gets that ball, looks like it's heading for outside and turns back inside and gets the edge of the strike zone. So he really is mixing up these Ryde batters. So first pitch now to Luke Parrish is a strike. Parrish gets a ground ball now to third base. Shane Benson. Benson across to Hazel at first base. And that shuts down the attack of the Ryde Hawks straight away on that 5-3 play. Shane Benson doesn't make mistakes with those, and nor does Dean Hazel on the other end of the throw.
That's 3 out.
After 4 completed innings, that is 3 out. And after 4 completed innings, Macarthur Orioles lead the Ryde Hawks by 2-0.
Are you bored, don't know what to do, don't know where to go? Then join me every Monday from 5 to 7 on the Hubbub. We'll give you a rundown of things happening locally and all around. With weekly competitions for free tickets. Plus, we'll give you reviews and some great interviews. So check out the Hubbub, 5 to 7, every Monday evening, right here on Triple H, 100.1 FM.
Ever had that sinking feeling when a police car appears behind you? Your brain starts ticking, madly calculating how many drinks you've had. Did you know, last year in New South Wales, around 4.6 million drivers were breath tested? Don't forget, every police car is a mobile RBT. So, if you're worried about getting caught, you should be. Mobile RBT. You won't know where, you won't know when. Authorised by the New South Wales Government, Sydney.
Street Beat, Tuesdays from 3 p.m. Everything going down in Hornsby Town.
And Karingai.
Interviews with locals giving a helping hand.
Making a difference.
Street Beat, ideas to entertain the kids.
And a good grizzle from the grumpy old man.
Street Beat
with Jeff D.
and Neil Anood. Tuesdays from 3 p.m. Triple H 100.1 FM, just before Eagles drive home. And we're ahead of Sohan and Marnie. Street Beat.
And welcome back to Blacktown International Sports Park, where now it is 8 o'clock on Saturday evening. As we go into the top of the fifth inning, it will be Dane Wigg leading off, followed by Mal Ismail, Shane Benson. That is the first three batters in order for the Macarthur Orioles, who are leading this game 2-0. And this is the second game of the best of three, where currently Ryde Hawks leading 1-0. So
if Ryde can get away with this, and not looking good at the moment as Macarthur lead it 2-0, they will go straight into the grand final series. If not, Macarthur will come back tomorrow afternoon in a winner-take-all challenge that will start at around about 5 p.m. tomorrow afternoon. First pitch from Wilkins to Dane Wigg is a called strike.
But there are other games here tomorrow morning. We've got third grade starting around about 9 o'clock-ish. And
9:30.
Yeah, there you go. That's about 9.
It is.
9:30.
That's right. Just half past it.
Yeah, and then that will be followed by a second grade game.
Now you want the time that's going to be played at.
I'll say 2.
Yeah, it'll be good.
That's what those fingers are for.
Wigg rips one into right field for a base hit. And that will be a lead-off single for, I believe it is the first time tonight. Yep, first time tonight that a lead-off has got aboard. So Dane Wigg doing a good job here in the top of the fifth inning to get aboard.
Yep, that's Dane Wigg's second single for tonight. So I did say that he was about duty.
Single to centre field, got him on board last innings.
Yes, but he wasn't the lead-off.
Ah, technicality.
He was batting third.
He was batting
in the
third.
lineup.
I need to listen.
Pardon?
Who?
What?
He's about 8 o'clock.
Yeah, Mal Ismail in the batting box at the moment, the designated hitter, and he's struck out twice so far tonight.
So he's looking to change his fortunes in the batter's box. Wilkins has a look at the runner at first base, comes to the plate. Ismail shows bunt, withdraws the bat for a called strike nonetheless.
And Wilkins definitely warm. No two ways about it. He is just throwing with quite a lot of velocity.
So Wilkins will settle down again as Ismail steps back into the batter's box after getting a full set of signals from Coach Moyer down the third base line. Wilkins looks in for his signals, gets them. Has a look over at the runner at first and tries the pick-off. Back comfortably, Dane Wigg at first base. So Wilkins gets it back onto the mound now. And Wilkins ready to go to work. Has an ERA of 4.19 on the 62 innings he has thrown this season for the Ryde Hawks. Wilkins to the plate now, swinging a hit up the middle. They're going to look for the double play, and it's going to be a wild throw from Tim Green that's going to get out into left field, and that's going to allow Dane Wigg to go all the way to third. Play at second base is not going to be in time as Ismail hustles in there as well. And so from Mal Ismail grounding into a double play ball, Tim Green was trying to basically change and throw around his body. His body was heading to the left and he wanted to throw the ball to the right, and all he really did was throw the ball out into left field. He missed James Murphy, the shortstop, by 3 or 4 yards. He missed him by. Poor old James Murphy didn't even have a hope of laying a glove on it. The ball went out into shallow left field where John Hall had to come in and get it. And as a result, Dane Wigg, as soon as he saw that the ball was thrown away from the shortstop, he just rounded and went to third. And Mal Ismail, a good hustle himself to get up there into second base. And so now the Orioles have runners at third and second. Nobody out here in the top of the fifth. And they are threatening to break this one open.
You know what? John Hall did a really good job coming a long way out in left field to cut that ball off too. He really did cover a lot of ground very quickly.
Well, he certainly stopped Dane Wigg going home, and
yes,
the Orioles putting another run on the board.
And almost got Mal Ismail. He was only half a step away from getting Mal Ismail at second base.
Yeah, good display by the left fielder.
We've got Shane Benson in the batting box at the moment, and Shane Benson, his last at bat, he had a double, and he drove in both runs. One of the runs.
Yep, landed it out on the warning track in straightaway centre. Goes to O'Neill down the first base line. O'Neill plays his bag for the out. Comes to home plate for a play there. Doesn't get the sliding Dane Wigg at the plate, but he stepped on first base first to get rid of Shane Benson, then through to the plate. Maybe he would have been advised to go the other way around. Come to the plate, they would have got Dane Wigg at the plate, and then they might have been able to get the return out back to Matt O'Neill at first base. But as it is, they do get an out, but they do give up a run. Dane Wigg crosses the plate to score. Mal Ismail goes around to third. Shane Benson will go down on what will be an RBI out for him, or to put out 3 to O'Neill, and that will leave Mal Ismail at third with only 1 out here for the Orioles. Top of the fifth, the Orioles now leading it 3-0.
Yeah, and the wonderful thing about hindsight, Cam, because we can see the play unfolding from our high spot here at Blacktown Internet, the Skybox, which is where we are. And, for sure, I would have had Matt O'Neill throwing straight back to Luke Parrish. Definitely would have had, at the very least, they would have put Dane Wigg in a rundown play, but I'm sure they would have got him out, and that run would not have crossed the plate at all. And it might have been a situation, runners might have been in the corners with 1 out, but end of the day, that run would not have scored. So that's with our hindsight and what we saw from up here, but at the end of the day, we're not out there playing the game.
Exactly right. Shannon Hislop in the batter's box now with a count of 1 ball and 1 strike on him as he gets ready to face another salvo from Luke Wilkins.
And I know it's only early stages in this game because we are in the 5th inning, but I really haven't seen anything in the Ryde side of things to convince me that they're going to take this game.
Wait for the pitching change though, P-Mac. Tyler Doran will probably struggle to go all 9.
Yeah, but you're looking, here we are, we're in 5 innings, and they're only just gone, they haven't gone through the batting order twice yet.
And this one fouled off down the third base side by Shannon Hislop. The count will be full now at 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, because Tyler Doran has only faced 13 batters.
He has indeed. So
chance
of him going a long way tonight.
Just on that, because the Ryde bats have actually helped them out from the point of view of swinging at first pitch, striking out. So, I think Tyler Doran, he's going to go probably into the 9th as we see a good rip by Shannon Hislop.
Yeah, centre right, but taken in centre field by Nick Demmers, tagging up Mal Ismail. Not really the fastest of runners, Mal, and he's hobbling off there. He's done an injury.
His elbow. His ankle.
His elbow.
The elbow on his foot.
Hobbling off on his elbow, is he?
Elbow on his foot. His ankle.
Remind me not to go to Dr. Harrodine anytime soon. I've got a problem with my lower leg. Yeah, I think it's your elbow.
I don't know my what from my elbow.
Oh, you're kidding. That's a good one.
Elbow on the end of his foot. Yeah. His ankle.
Oh, dear.
I'm sure our viewers would have worked it out.
Oh, absolutely. Not.
Hang on, I'll just go back and engage my mouth again.
So Hislop out on that sacrifice fly to centre field. It scores Mal Ismail. It is 4-0 in favour of the Macarthur Orioles. And they are slowly getting away. Kai Hislop, it is in the batter's box now. Swings at that first pitch from Wilkins to go behind 0-1.
It's 0-1. No one on base, but 2 out.
Yeah, scoreboard having a little bit of problems up there at the moment. It'll catch up in a moment, I'm sure it will. Next pitch from Wilkins is just outside 1-1 now the count on Kai Hislop.
And Kai Hislop 5-3, 5-3. His 2 at-bats this afternoon, or this evening.
Next pitch is a slider way outside from Wilkins.
Kept going.
Has in fact 2-2. So it is 2 balls and 2 strikes, in fact, on Kai Hislop. So 2-2 the count as Luke Wilkins just takes his time on the mound. Kicks up through his wind-up, misses upstairs now to fill the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So a full count pitch ready to be delivered now by Luke Wilkins to Kai Hislop.
Yeah, and played umpire Trent Thomas well and truly showing that it was 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Payoff pitch is just downstairs for ball 4. It was close. We're watching home plate umpire Trent Thomas with intent, waiting for that big ring-up, punch-out, strike 3 third out signal that he gives, but not to be given on that occasion. He keeps the gun in the holster, and he will allow Kai Hislop on board, courtesy of 4 balls, and Hislop walks to give Macarthur another runner here in the 5th.
And that will bring to the plate Matt Olsen. Matt Olsen, a single to left field and a single to third base.
Olsen now, he's a big swing at the first pitch he sees, and he falls behind 0-1. So 0-1 for Olsen as he steps out and has a look at the signals. And Olsen now has got the signal, steps into the batter's box and awaits the pitch from Wilkins. Wilkins looks over to first base, trying to catch Kai Hislop unawares over there. Hislop with a decent lead and leaning towards second base, but not over-committing, and making sure that Luke Wilkins is just aware of the fact that he's prepared to take off at any given time with the score and the situation exactly as it is. And a snap throw from the catcher, Luke Parrish, up to first base, Matt O'Neill, just not in time, diving back Kai Hislop, and it was closer than I think Kai Hislop wanted it to be.
It certainly was, Cam. Certainly was. It had Matt O'Neill, the first baseman for the Ryde Hawks, been a little bit closer to the bag and not have to extend the sweep, I think he would have. Who have we got over at first base?
You've got Bobby Dawes down on the first base side.
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable that Bobby Dawes would have actually thrown him out.
So, as I said, Kai Hislop, it was a lot closer than Kai Hislop wanted it to be. And back in the batter's box, we have Matt Olsen battling away down there for the Orioles. The count of 1 ball and 2 strikes on him. Wilkins again checks the runner. And again comes to the plate. This time the runner goes. This one's hit out into centre field, dying very, very quickly, but Dimmers is there in time to make the catch. It was dying into very shallow centre field, but Nick Dimmers was on the charge. He catches it out there in centre field. He will retire Olsen for the 3rd out here in the top of the 5th, but not before Macarthur do a little bit more damage on the board. They get 2 more big runs here in the top of the 5th, and they lead the Ryde Hawks by 4 runs to nothing.
Now, when you need financial advice, contact Hickman & Richard Financial Planning. They have over 25 years' experience in the finance business. Call 9876-0177 for advice on investing, superannuation, personal protection and business partnership insurance, but especially financial planning. Hickman & Richard Financial Planning. Give Sean a call on 9876-0177 for an initial consultation. HRFP are proud sponsors of the Summer of Baseball broadcasts. And don't forget, you are listening to the Summer of Baseball on the various websites, or you're listening to us on Triple H 100.1 FM. And if you'd like to contact us here at the Blue Sox Stadium, Blacktown International Sports Park, Skybox, whatever you'd like to call us, or wherever we are broadcasting from, there are several ways that you can do that. One of them is the short messaging system, and that number to contact us, 0412 203 068. Don't be shy. Or you can send us an email, baseball@triplehfm.com.au, or you could use the Twitterverse, and you can get us at Summer of Baseball with 1L. That's how you can get us here at the Summer of Baseball. As we go into the bottom of the 5th inning, and it will be Daniel Illingsworth, the designated hitter for the Ryde Hawks, facing Tyler Doran, as we see 2 pitches, and I have it as 1-1, but we'll just wait for umpire Trent Thomas to confirm or deny. There we go, 1-1 it is.
1-1 it is, P-Mac, as Illingworth gets ready to continue to face Doran, who, as you said, in the other half of the innings has only faced 13 batters, so it's done a great job through 4 innings so far. Next pitch comes in, and that is a called strike, I think. 1 ball and 2 strikes now on Illingworth. That is correct, 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Doran, the 1-2 change up. is just going to get over the top of the netting, and the ladies up there in the grandstand who weren't quite paying attention to what was going on in the diamond
on the game.
Got a fright of their life as the baseball landed in the seats next to them, and the kids scurried after and put it in their pockets because
they pointed at it.
Souvenir ball.
Yeah, just like every good pitcher.
Next pitch, 2-2 pitch is in there for strike 3. Nice curveball again from Doran. And as you say, he has that up and in curveball that he starts with that sidearm action. It goes up and at the batter, and then next minute it breaks down and away and across the plate. And so many batters get frozen by that pitch. And he gets another big K2, and another bat goes flying. From the front dugout area all the way to the back dugout area again from Ryde, as this time it is Greg Ardell that rips one straight up the middle for a base hit. It'll get cut off behind second base by Matt Olsen, but no chance of making a play there, and Ardell with a base hit for the Hawks.
Yeah, just to sort of, he is the second batter only in 15 batters to come to the plate, and he's the second batter only for the Ryde Hawks to actually get on board. And that will bring to the plate right fielder Matt Aldridge. So Matt Aldridge with Greg Ardell standing at first base.
So can the Hawks try to manufacture something to get something on the board here at this stage? Another Tyler Doran curveball misses low and outside, and it will be one ball only on Matt Aldridge, who K2'd his first time to the plate tonight. But he's not alone with that statistic against his name in tonight's ball game. Doran with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them so far this game. Aldridge takes a second pitch, which also misses. 2 straight balls now on Aldridge. Aldridge steps out and has a look at what Coach Dal Gans wants him to do.
Hit the ball somewhere.
Where a fielder
is not.
Preferably don't ground into a double play, something along those lines. Doran fastball misses outside by inches at the most. And it will be 3 straight balls now on Matt Aldridge. And Ryde with a chance for the first time tonight to have 2 gentlemen on base in 1 inning. Can they make something happen? They trail by 4-0. He does the disciplined thing.
Good.
And just leaves it on his shoulders, trying to get a second base runner and a runner into scoring position for the Hawks for the first time tonight. 3-1 now. A good hitting count for Matt Aldridge. Can probably load up and be looking for fastball down the middle and see what he gets. He looks for fastball down the middle, hits it straight back to Doran to Fogarty to Hazel. They turn it over and play, and the Hawks are gone 1, 2, 3. Great piece of defence there by the Macarthur Orioles. Tyler Doran got the comeback, a pivotal run, got it to Fogarty. Fogarty found second base, threw the ball then across to Hazel, who was anchored to first base, and they get the 1-6-3 double play to end the innings, and we are done with 5 completed innings here at Blacktown International Sports Park, where the Ryde Hawks, they lead the Macarthur Orioles by 4-0.
Liven up your Friday nights each week from 9 p.m. with Dino's Party Mix. 4 hours of great party music to get you going for the weekend. Hear the weekly top 10 of 10. Great party tracks from today, as well as a classic retro. Or request your own party tunes on 8086 1900. Dino's Party Mix every Friday night from 9 p.m. on Triple H FM 100.1 and online at www.triplehfm.com.au.
Every day I'm shuffling.
Toastmasters is the leading movement devoted to effective oral communication.
Learn the art of public speaking, listening and thinking. Improve your communication and leadership skills.
There are clubs all over the North Shore. Barara,
Hornsby,
Thornley,
Pennant Hills,
St Ives and Taramara.
There's even a gourmet club.
Go to toastmasters.org.au and click on District 70.
Find the courage to change.
A community service announcement from Triple H.
And welcome back to Blue Sox Stadium, where the Macarthur Orioles and the Ryde Hawks are doing battle here in Game 2 of the final series of State Baseball League New South Wales. So just a little bit of a power issue here with one of the laptops. Don't worry. Quick cheerio call to Brooke. Thanks for your email, Brooke. We really appreciate it. But more so, a cheerio and a call out to the 4-year-old Hunter. Hunter, glad that you're listening and watching the baseball on that video streaming on Ustream. Hope you enjoy it as a 4-year-old, and hope you grow up to play with whichever team you desire to, and maybe get even into the professional ranks. Brooke, thanks for your email. We really appreciate it. And they are Macarthur Orioles fans and long-time members from way back, and now living on the Gold Coast. So thanks for tuning in. Spread the word. We've been doing this for 5 years now, and we still discover new viewers every game that we broadcast. It's a fly ball across to Matt O'Neill at first base there, off the bat of the lead-off, Shane Fogarty. Just hits a fly ball up there. Matt O'Neill manages to catch that over a Tim Green falling on the ground behind him. So in the scorebook, it just goes down as a fly ball to position 3 for the first out. The lead-off, Shane Fogarty. 1 up, 1 down, the Macarthur Orioles in this top of the 6th innings.
Yeah, it does. We've sorted out our power issues. We think we've got enough power to all the devices to stay on air for the rest of the evening. So that's all good. And we will power on through the top of the 6th inning. And as you said, Fogarty out with that fly ball to Matt O'Neill at first base. So Wilkins getting a cheap first out there, and Dean Hazel now in the batter's box as Wilkins gets a fastball grounded to Tim Green, who gets a very friendly hop, makes the throw to O'Neill as quickly as you like. 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 6th. And Macarthur, though they have 4 runs on the board, have really only threatened in 2 innings, and that were the 2 innings that they got their runs. The 3rd and the 5th.
Yeah, that's right, and this top of the 6 is looking to be a short one for them.
And so that will bring Jake Webster.
Is that the mock?
Yes.
That is the mock.
Who has had a hit to right field and a K2 with his 2 at-bats for the evening. And takes the first pitch from Wilkins upstairs for ball 1. Wilkins now into his wind-up. The 1-0 pitch on its way. Breaking pitch is in there for a called strike. So 1-1 now the count on Jake Webster.
And Harry, just going back to the viewers that have the Macarthur Orioles people,
Yep.
Hunter, the
Brooke
4-year-old,
and Hunter, yep.
Brooke and Hunter. Yeah, what's Brooke doing up at 8:30? He's 4 years old.
It's only 8:30.
It's a Saturday.
Hang on, no, it's on the Gold Coast. It's only 7:30.
Oh, of course.
And it is a Saturday night.
They're an hour behind us, PMAC.
You've got to be able to stay up and party on
20 years.
You've got to be able to stay up and party on the Gold Coast on a Saturday night. This ball launched out into right field from Webster. Getting around on it, Matt Aldridge. He will take the catch for the 3rd out. And the Orioles go 1, 2, 3 in the 6th. So as we head to the bottom of the 6th innings, the Ryde Hawks about to come to the plate. But they trail the Orioles 4-0 and have a lot of work ahead of them if they want to get back into this baseball game.
They certainly do. And whilst we've got an innings break and we've got our power issue seems to be sorted out at the moment, I'd just like to remind our listeners and viewers and anyone that's involved in state league or state baseball league or baseball in general, there is a fantastic night that's coming up on the 20th of April. And it's Baseball New South Wales State League Awards night. It's called the Lionel Harris Award, or Lionel Harris Medal, my apologies.
That's for the MVP in first grade?
Yes, that is correct. And it's on Saturday night, the 20th of April. And it's in the Grand Ballroom at Bankstown Sports Club, which is at Greenfield Parade, Bankstown. Get there around about 6:30 for a 7 o'clock start. There are dress regulations, lounge suit for gentlemen and cocktail dresses for the ladies. And it's a 3-course meal, entertainment and awards that are going on all for majority of the night. Make your bookings, go to admin@baseballnewsouthwales.com.au, or you can call Narelle on the office line, which is 9675-6872. It's $55 per person, or you can find a friend and go as a couple, and it comes down to $100 for a couple. There is bar service at club prices, free parking at the club underground car park, and if you'd like to stay the night, there is a special discounted rate for state, if you just quote Baseball State League Awards night, the on-site travel lodge. So that's coming up on the 20th of April, the Lionel Harris Medal at the Grand Ballroom, Bankstown Sports Club.
Be there or be somewhere else.
No, just be there.
Bottom of the 6th, we're into John Hall leading things off. Tyler Doran still on the mound for the Macarthur Orioles. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1. Hall now waits on the second pitch. That looked a bit closer. Called strike it is. 1-1 is the count now on John Hall. So 1 ball and 1 strike on Hall. Doran around that body again. Rips this one to Benson, who was playing shallow and in on the grass. And he makes a good throw again across to Dean Hazel. And that will be 1 gone for the Hawks here in the 6th.
He was in close, wasn't he, Shane Benson? Right there on the grass, assured him of a clean hop, straight into the glove on that ball, driven very hard by Hall.
And it's one of those situations where you're getting close. Let your muscle memory take over. It's just reactions. Just bang. No time to think. No time to think. It just comes straight to you. You know where the ball's going to come, and then you just sort of throw the frozen rope over to your teammate.
And you hope that your reflexes are still good enough at whatever age you may be when you're at third base, that when it does get ripped at you, that your brain remembers to put the glove in front of the ball. So Tim Green in the batter's box fouls the first 2 he sees off and falls behind 0-2 now on Tyler Doran.
And we're just confirming some of the times for tomorrow's, because we have to do that now because the Macarthur Orioles are leading this game 4 runs to nothing. So if there's another game tomorrow, there'll be a game at 5 o'clock.
Little leader out into right field, getting back, and on it is Matt Olsen, but he can't make the catch, spills it into the bullpen, and that will allow Tim Green to round first and slide into second with what will end up being a double on what should probably be scored an error on Matt Olsen. He made the ground to make the catch and then booted the ball from just inside third territory into the bullpen of the Orioles, and so Green gets around to second base on that error to Matt Olsen, who made very good ground to get there to the catch, but unfortunately couldn't complete the task.
Yeah, and just going back to what I was saying before, Cam, third grade will be at around about 9:30. Second grade will be around about 1 o'clock, if I remember correctly, and first grade, if this required, will be at 5 o'clock.
So we could be back here tomorrow afternoon, and that is the way it is looking at the moment as Doran fires a pitch now into Nick Dimmers, and he repeats the dose, and it misses outside, but it is 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1-1 is the count on Nick Dimmers. Tim Green stands in scoring position for the Ryde Hawks. The first runner they have had get that far tonight. And that was only courtesy of a little bit of bumbling from the Orioles. Ripped into left centre field this one. Tim Green hasn't got the pace to be taking on the arm out there of Kai Hislop. Surely not. No, sent back to third base is Tim Green. Not the swiftest of second basemen, Tim Green, but a good piece of hitting by Nick Dimmers. And now the Hawks with the runners at the corners with only 1 out.
And that will bring to the plate James Murphy, the shortstop. And we've just got a really funny email that was correcting something that, because I did some very, very crude and horrible mathematics on Wednesday night. And one of our loyal listeners, g'day Janine, and we do thank you for pointing that out. I did mention about Rick Wickham, how he coached a lot of the guys that were playing on Wednesday night. There was a series of them in the state cup squad, and I did make mention that it was around about 1993. But if you do the mathematics, that would make them 1 at the time when Rick was coaching them. So it has been pointed out it should have been 2003, not 1993. So just a slight variation to that one. Thanks, Janine, for pointing it out. Quite happy to take all of the raps that I was.
Maths never was your strong suit.
Certainly was not.
And English is your second language, so we better go to science. Stay beside us.
Because he's from Ireland.
Oh, you harsh, the pair of you. James Murphy's in the batting box with runners at the corners.
Speaking of Murphy.
Runner almost goes and takes a very big secondary lead, does Nick Dimmers, and then slams on the brakes and heads back to first base. And showing bunt was Murphy, pulling the bat out of the way and allowing the pitch to pass, and again has a good long look down at Coach Dalgans on the first base side of things. We'll see what happens on this pitch. Doran now with the runners at the corners, has a good long look, comes to the plate, breaking pitch, misses down and inside for 1 ball and 1 strike now. So 1-1 now on James Murphy. So Murphy again steps out, again gets his signals, and again Doran has to wait for him. Now he's ready to face him. Pick-off attempt, a quick turn and throw from Doran to first base, and Dimmers equal to the task. Dives back to first base. Lands almost on the mound and almost wins himself on the base there, does Nick Dimmers, and gets up and just stretches himself out, and he's right to go again now.
Do you want to know what time it is in Boston?
It's
4:30 a.m.
It's baseball time.
Hey, good call, Cam. 4:30 a.m. and 9 inches of snow outside of where Mitch Liddell is ensconced at the moment.
Next pitch from Doran's a swing and a miss from no, he fouls it off, does Murphy. Thought he missed that, and so did Nick Dimmers. And Dimmers has pulled up lame there at first base. I don't know if he's got a hamstring problem, but he was stretching out after he dived back to first base, and I thought he may have just winded himself a little bit.
Do you want me to take a guess at it?
No, you will say
he's at his elbow on his ankle again.
Shoulder.
He might have a chin problem, has he?
Oh,
I love a leg chin problem.
And we were speaking of
Mitch Liddell. Mitch Liddell over there in Boston.
Macarthur Orioles organisation, who he's barracking for without a doubt.
1-2 pitch, breaking pitch, misses outside. 2-2 now the count on James Murphy. Runners in the corners, 1 out. Ryde trailing by 4-0, but they are on the charge here in the bottom of the 6th.
A little flinch from Murphy there with the bat too. Just checked it back quick enough. So he almost decided to take a swing at it, then laid off.
Wasn't sure if it was the fastball or the breaking pitch, so he was ready for the fastball. When he saw it start to move, he was good enough to be able to hold it back, not swing through it, and take the pitch. So 2-2 as Doran tries a pick off of Dimmers at first base again, unsuccessfully.
Yeah, I still don't think the Ryde Hawks have done enough to actually convince me that they're going to take this game.
2-2 pitch on its way, lifted out into right centre field, shallow enough, I believe, for there to be a play at the plate. Hislop takes it. Green's not even going to attempt to take home plate.
No.
He will stay back at third base, and so the runners will remain at the corners now, however, with 2 big outs for the Macarthur Orioles.
Yeah, because you look at, you've got Tyler Doran, who's now in the 6th inning, and his work rate's starting to increase a bit, so he's faced 20 batters so far, and so we'll see him probably come out and do another dig, and then we've seen
one would probably be enough. They've got a few guys down there that they haven't used a lot of in the last couple of nights, so
I think 4 runs is going to be a
namely
good enough.
Yakuza. He hasn't thrown in the last night or so he's up their sleeve. Josh Freeman. And but they will need to keep them as O'Neill steps into the batter's box now, sees a fastball and gives himself a tap on the back of the head with the baseball bat, saying that was the one I should have gone after. I may not see as good a pitch of that again this at bat. And so he falls behind 0-1. The runners are at the corners. There are 2 away now, and they trail it 4-0. The Hawks looking to get their first run on the board. Doran to the plate now, and it's a fastball that looked like it had a bit of a away tail from Matt O'Neill, who bats left-handed, going away from him. It misses outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. So 1 ball and 1 strike on player manager for the Ryde Hawks, Matt O'Neill. Pick-off attempt at first base, and Dimmers back again, but not moving freely at all, Nick Dimmers. Looks like he's being
looks like
hampered.
he has, it's probably done his big toe in Harrow's
medical dictionary.
Book.
The Book of Anatomy. As the next pitch comes to the plate, O'Neill chops it. It's a high chopper, and it's going to be just picked up by Dean Hazel at first base. It almost got over the head of Dean Hazel. If it had, it would have scored a run, but it didn't. Dean Hazel managed to get up on his stepladder, drag it in, get across to first base for the put-out, and that will do the Ryde Hawks. They will strand 2 runners, and runners at the corners. Dimmers is ripping off the field. We may not see Nick Dimmers again tonight. Let's hope he can recover and get back out there, but well done. Through 6 completed innings here at Blacktown International Sports Park, where the Ryde Hawks are trailing the Macarthur Orioles by 4-0.
Triple H Healthy, my husband and I are planning our first baby, and I was wondering if I should be cutting back on how much I drink. And once I am pregnant, should I stop drinking altogether?
Alcohol in a woman's bloodstream passes to her unborn child, and this may affect the child from conception onwards. It's difficult to identify the exact levels of drinking, which may cause harm to the child. And for this reason, you may need to consider not drinking at all if you're pregnant, or are planning to become pregnant. The risk is highest in the early stages of pregnancy, including the time from conception to the first missed period. If you do choose to drink when you're pregnant, it's important that you never become intoxicated. You should have less than 7 standard drinks over a week, and no more than 2 standard drinks spread over at least 2 hours on any one day. For more information about the Australian Alcohol Guidelines and advice on alcohol and pregnancy, visit alcohol.gov.au.
This program is funded by the Australian Government Department of Health and Ageing.
Ribs on Friday here. Join us for each Thursday for the Music Almanac, a program where we aim to play a healthy variety of all things great tunes. From current hits to alternative, pub rock to classic rock, indie to Britpop, and everything in between. Let's invigorate your musical palate and get your ears humming. Because when it comes down to it, nothing beats great music. The Music Almanac, 8 p.m. Thursdays on Triple H, 100.1 FM.
Yeah, it certainly is a wonderful program with Rufus and Chester and the boys, and I know that they were doing a bit of scouting out at Eastern Creek today. They went out to the Top Gear show, and they're going
I didn't know there was a scout hall out there.
Yeah, they were doing a little bit of reporting for the Show Shimoda guys that are on every Saturday morning from 10 till 12. So we've got Orgo, Pete, and the Rev Doctor. But
some say that that's one of the most popular shows on Triple H.
It's one of the popular shows.
We are the most popular show.
We've got Dane Wigg.
Summer of Baseball.
Dane Wigg in the batting box at the moment, and he has faced 2 pitches. One was a called strike, the next one was fouled off over right field.
For an 0-2 count from Luke Wilkins, who stays on the mound for the Ryde Hawks. And after joining us for the bottom of the 5th innings, top of the 5th innings with 2 out, but 4th innings with 2 out, Luke Wilkins came on. So and finished that off, and he's been on the mound ever since. Throws to Dane Wigg, gets a ground ball to shortstop James Murphy. Murphy throws high to Matt O'Neill at first base. Running straight through the bag is Dane Wigg, and as O'Neill starts to come down on the bag, it just takes his legs out from under him, and he just needs time out to recover now. Umpire Bob Dawes has called timeout.
Yeah, he already called time.
Matt O'Neill could recover, and now there's a pinch hitter coming in for Mal Ismail.
Dan Fulham.
Yep. Dan Fulham comes in with Matt Ismail, apparently been taken out of the game, injured with a suspect elbow pain.
Yeah, the elbow in
He
the foot.
limped off with a bad elbow.
Dear, oh dear.
Dan Fulham comes in.
Harrow. What do we do with you?
You've got to have a chuckle.
Why wouldn't you?
First pitch to Fulham now. Fastball down low, misses the zone for a ball. So Fulham comes in at the top of the 7th.
He certainly does, and he has started 3 games in first grade. He's played 6, comes with a batting average of 429. He has only had 7 at-bats, but even so, 429 at any level you'd be happy with. As he just gets a little comeback, a roller that comes to 4. So Tim Green, he throws it off, and Tim Green, he tags Dane Wigg and has plenty of time to throw over to Matt O'Neill for the put out. So that becomes a double play, 4-3.
4-3 on Dan Fulham for that second out. The first half of the double play, of course, Dane Wigg ran into the tag. Tim Green stood up with the ball in front of him. Couldn't do much about that. Put out at 4. Dan Fulham, the 4-3 play. And I'm having a little chuckle because of the actions of first base umpire Bob Dawes, who seemed to look at his counter, hesitate, and then ring up the out at first base. There's
Shane
a little
Benson?
mixture of movements. Shane Benson hits a long, high fly ball to deep right field. It goes deep into the corner, right under the foul pole in right field, but fair well and truly by 2.5 metres. And it was Matt Aldridge having to chase all the way to that corner to retrieve the ball. But Shane Benson, a double to right field and standing safely, of course, at second base.
His second double for the night, Harrow, after landing one on the warning track at centre field. He lands one on the warning track at right field. So he's gone deep a couple of times tonight. If warning track hits were home runs, Shane Benson would be a hero at the moment, but he's not. He's in there with a couple of doubles, so he's giving the Orioles another chance to try and drive in a run and extend this lead outside of one swing of the bat, which I'm sure the Orioles would love to get to, and the Ryde Hawks, of course, would love to keep it inside of that.
They will just be looking for more insurance, the Orioles. They need to win this game to keep alive in the series. Next pitch from Wilkins to Shannon Hislop is a strike outside. So no balls, 1 strike on Shannon Hislop. Benson gets a good lead there at second base. Pivots are not interested in him at all as Shannon Hislop fouls one off to the back net. So 2 strikes now. No balls, 2 strikes on Shannon Hislop. Steps back up to the plate now.
And just in the final series, just did some quick calculations. Shane Benson, 6 for 18.
Yeah, not too bad. 300.
Yep.
Close to
it. Close enough to it. Near enough.
So Wilkins takes his time on the mound there as Shannon Hislop steps out of the batter's box just to check signals. Comes back in and regroups. Shane Benson has a look at the pivot's location from second base. Fakes a secondary lead. Next pitch. Drops outside and low from the zone on the left-handed hitter. Hislop for a ball. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now on Shannon Hislop.
3-3-3.
Again, the Orioles on the attack. And he gets a ball. Line drive to straightaway centre field. Shane Benson motors around to third base and is held by coach Jason Moyer at third base. Shannon Hislop safely at first. Line drive to centre field.
And that's Shannon Hislop's first hit, so he's 1 for 4 tonight.
And now runners on the corners again for the Orioles. They're certainly on the attack, but there are 2 out in this top of the 7th innings. And it needs Luke Wilkins and his Ryde Hawks teammates to try and stop this attack and prevent more runs being scored by the Orioles.
Yeah, they need to get out of this innings, Harrow. They can't afford to give up any more. They've struggled, well, they haven't scored a run all night. They've struggled to score any runs tonight, and 4 might be enough for the Orioles, but 5 or 6 would certainly be probably a bridge too far for the Hawks in the last couple of innings that they will have. Well, they're down to 9 outs now to try and get these runs back.
Yeah, Cam, I think 4 runs is more than enough at this stage.
Depends on change of pitcher rotations, I think, if they are required at all. Foul ball down the right field side, P-Mac, into the bullpen of the Macarthur Orioles from the bat of Kai Hislop. Now with 2 strikes on him.
As I was saying before, you have a look at the bullpen. There's the likes of Kendall Davis that can throw an innings, Josh Freeman that can throw an innings, and then you've got the beard, Matty Williams back.
Some of whom will be required tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, but even so, even if they're only throwing 1 dig.
Yep.
That's
just a little light bullpen,
That's
I think.
correct, because then it's game day bullpen.
Well, they have to win this game, first of all, and then they have to think about tomorrow. Wilkins ready now. Pick-off attempt back to first base on Shannon Hislop. Down and dirty, but easily safe at first base.
The one thing they can't do, Harrow, is think about tomorrow before this game is won, because
Correct.
if you start thinking about tomorrow and not worrying about this game,
you lose
all of a sudden, two swings of the bat, you're down and you've lost your 4-run lead, and the game gets away from you and you can't drag it back, and tomorrow doesn't come.
That's exactly right, Cam. That's why they've got to stay focused on the job at hand. So next pitch misses outside, an appeal made on a check swing from Kai Hislop, denied by first base umpire Bob Dawes. 2 balls, 2 strikes and 2 out here in the top of the 7th innings for the Macarthur Orioles. Wilkins has a look at the runner at first again. Runners on the corners here with Shane Benson standing at third in scoring position. It's a ground ball to third base and it gets through. Greg Ardle, he just takes his eyes off that. He thought the ball was going to jump into his glove, but no way. Just lifted his head up at the last second before the ball went in, missed it clean, and basically it went straight out to John Hall. So Kai Hislop on base at first with a single to left field, position 7. That moves Shannon Hislop into scoring position at second base, but importantly drives Shane Benson across home plate for another run for the Macarthur Orioles.
Yeah, because that takes their tally to 5. So now they've got 5 runs. And
Pitching change?
You might have said before, 2 swings of the bat and potentially that run, the lead is halved, but now 5 runs. Yeah, I still don't think that's going to be anywhere near the Ryde Hawks' capabilities.
So that'll
tonight.
be Derek Van Hilst coming in.
That is correct.
Derek Van Hilst comes in to replace Luke Wilkins. So let's see what Van Hilst can do. Can he keep the bats quiet from the Orioles? And can the bats from the Ryde Hawks get through the pitching of Tyler Doran?
I was just having a look at the body language when that ball got away from Ardell. There was quite a few heads that dropped on the Ryde side that they put their heads down and sort of went, oh no.
Yes, yeah, makes the job hard.
5 runs is just a psychological barrier, because even if you have a really good dig, load the bags up and somebody comes up and rides one over the fence, you're still trailing.
Yeah, absolutely. So it looks like at the moment could be an early call, but the Macarthur Orioles are certainly dominating this game here against the Ryde Hawks. Game 2 of the series.
It's not an early call, Harrow. It's just we've been around the sport for many years, and you have a look at everything from the body language, the way that the Ryde Hawks are actually swinging the bats, the pitching dominance by Tyler Doran, the defence by the likes of Shane Benson at the moment, because he's having an absolute blinder in the hot corner. Hopefully that hasn't thrown the mock into it. But the defence for the Orioles, and the offense as well. So I think they've got it. And yes, we are only in the 7th innings, but I'm very comfortable saying
certainly, yeah. Going back to that note from Mitch Little over there in Boston in 9 inches of snow. If we get to Game 3 tomorrow, and we don't want to call it too early, but if we get to Game 3 tomorrow, at least he will be able to watch the game at a respectable hour.
He'll still be asleep. It's 4 o'clock in the morning now. He's going to need to catch up on his...
But tomorrow's game... I'll still be asleep from tonight. Tomorrow's game, of course, is being played, if required, at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Couple of hours earlier, so it's still early as
1 a.m.
Still early hours of the morning, exactly. But a little bit more respectable. He'll be able to go to bed earlier.
So after a Saturday night out in the town, when the pub closes at midnight, he can come home and watch the baseball.
Nick Dimmers is leaving the field as well, so he's obviously pulled up because we did see him limping around, so his shoulder's gone. So
a change in centre field. Of course, young Hunter. Brooks' young fella, Hunter, he'll be able to watch at a respectable hour tomorrow afternoon.
I'll be happy with that.
From the Gold Coast. We appreciate all of the feedback we get on SMS and email and, of course, on Twitter. Please feel free to contact us as Van Hilst throws first pitch to Matt Olsen for a swinging strike, fouled.
And how do people contact us, Harry?
I can tell you in a moment, PMAC, once I unravel all this paperwork. SMS 0412 203 068. Email baseball@triplehfm.com.au. or on Twitter @Summer of Baseball. Throwback to first base there from Luke Parrish. Can't get the charging Kai Hislop, who charges back to first base, who was absolutely wrong-footed.
And he almost got branded by the ball.
He's absolutely... He actually stopped off the base, so it didn't hit him. Next pitch fouled off by Olsen, and that takes the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes from Derek Van Hilst to Matt Olsen. So 2 runners on here for the Orioles. Shannon Hislop in scoring position. Kai Hislop at first base. Van Hilst comes to the middle of the zone, and it is Olsen who gets all of that. It's a high fly ball to right field, and that should be Matt Aldridge out there taking that catch in right field to bring up the 3rd out and shut down this attack from the Macarthur Orioles, but not until more damage is done. Shane Benson scores the 5th run for the Orioles in this top of the 7th inning. So halfway through the 7th, it is Macarthur leading Ryde by 5 runs to 0.
Now, we at the Summer of Baseball bring these games with the wonderful support of our sponsors, and some of those sponsors are Hickman and Richard Financial Planning, the State League Baseball New South Wales, Sydney Blue Sox, Reese Electrical, Pro Guitar and Sounds, and of course Red Stitches Baseball and Softball Supplies. They're Sydney's newest and only specialised baseball and softball outlet on the North Shore. Call them 9489 7007. Red Stitches located, Shop 7100 Pacific Highway, Waitara. They're open Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. till 6 p.m. and 8 a.m. until 3 p.m. on Saturdays. So on your way home, slide in and see Ashley or Andrew for a great deal on all your baseball and softball needs. Alternatively, you can shop online at www.redstitches.com.au. Browse their massive catalogue, maybe even steal a deal. And as I said before, I've spoken with Andrew this afternoon, and he does assure me that there are some fantastic run-out deals and end-of-season deals that are going at the moment.
So if you're going to play winter baseball this season, and there's plenty of winter competitions around, whether it be the Sydney Winter Baseball League or St George or up in the Hills districts, wherever you may be playing your winter baseball, if you need some gear and you want to get it at a fantastic price, Red Stitches have a summer run-out sale that you do not want to miss.
And also, when you're going shopping at Red Stitches, let them know that you heard about it from the Summer of Baseball, just to give them a little bit of acknowledgement that their advertising is working. So Red Stitches are proud sponsors of Triple H 100.1 FM and the Summer of Baseball as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning, and it will be Luke Parrish, the catcher, leading off.
Just can tell the listeners, the centre fielder that replaced Nick Dimmers was Jake Clinch. Not sure if he'll be required to bat or go back out into centre field. We'll see. But Jake Clinch it was that went out to centre field to replace the injured Nick Dimmers.
And still on the mound for the Orioles is Tyler Doran. So Doran has a count now on Matt Parrish of...
and his brother Luke.
And Luke Parrish, sorry. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I'm going back to football days again, PMAC. I can't help it. I'm sorry.
You're welcome.
Next pitch misses outside for a count of 2 and 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Luke Parrish.
Well, football season has started. It is encroaching onto us.
Yeah, I just can't get it out of my system. Next pitch high, too high and out of the zone on Parrish.
Just because your team won.
We're still in mourning on
never any
Thursday
doubt.
night.
Oh, you don't want to talk about the Roosters tonight?
No.
Luke Parrish now. Full count pitch from Tyler Doran. Parrish gets a ground ball straight to shortstop Fogarty. Fogarty across to Hazel at first base and brings up the lead-off batters out. So that is Luke Parrish out on a 6-3 play. Shortstop to first base. The lead-off out, 1 up, 1 down. The Ryde Hawks brings Daniel Illingworth, the designated hitter, to the plate.
And Harrow, in answer to that question, I think there was enough talk leading up to the Thursday night about the Roosters. So, we don't need to speak anything of it tonight.
Okay.
Thanks anyway.
We'll talk about the other birds.
For trying to console us.
The Orioles and the Hawks. Right here in front of us. First pitch to Illingworth from Doran. Missed down low and outside. Next one misses high. Inside. Opposite corner of the zone. So 2 balls and no strikes now on Daniel Illingworth. Next one right in the meat of the zone. Illingworth hits it high though. High to right field side. It's going in foul territory but caught by Shannon Hislop. Just over the line by about 2 metres. So foul fly ball caught by Shannon Hislop brings up the second out in position 9.
And a very, very, very big spring in the step of the Macarthur Orioles at this stage, Harrow.
Momentum.
That's it. You can just see the body language. Cam made a comment before about the Ryde Hawks body language. Well, there's definitely a big spring in the step of the Macarthur camp at the moment.
Doran still on the mound and doing a great job for the Orioles. Once he started working as well as he is, that sealed the certainty of the Orioles, and he's in a great rhythm and he doesn't look like leaving the mound too soon. The count now on Greg Ardle is 1 ball and 1 strike. Next pitch now, the 1-1 pitch. Gets Ardle swinging for second strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out in the bottom of the 7th innings. Can Ardle get something going here for his Ryde Hawks?
Well, his last at-bat, he actually had a single to centre field, which was straight up the middle, and he just made contact. He wasn't trying to overhit the ball, he just made contact, bat to ball.
Okay, ball goes back to Doran now. He goes for a walk off the back of the mound just to refresh and regroup. The count on Ardle is 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's 2 out in the bottom of the 7th innings. Bottom of 7 now. 2-2 pitch from Doran to Ardle, misses outside, just trying to tempt Greg Ardle to take a bit of a swing at it. So one person's recorded, Catherine Cameron has recorded streaming cutting out. Not sure about the radio station, but certainly Ustream is leaving us here okay as Ardle gets a walk off that next pitch from Tyler Doran. So he does get something started for the Hawks, does Greg Ardle.
It might be just a local issue in and around the Cherrybrook West Pennant Hills area. They might be having a couple of problems there. But Kath, if you just try to refresh your system and on the radio, that still should be pretty fine from that side of things. But just try refreshing. As we just see Greg Ardle, he takes a stolen base on that.
And the defence basically just left him alone. Matt Aldridge at the plate now, takes first pitch for a strike. It's Matt Aldridge behind in the count. No balls, 1 strike on Aldridge. Doran comes to the plate again. Aldridge gets bat to ball, drives it on a hopper to second baseman Matt Olsen. Olsen to Hazel at first base, and that brings up the 3rd out. Matt Aldridge out on a 4-3 play, and that is 3 out for the Ryde Hawks. They leave 1 runner stranded but score no runs. After 7 completed innings, it is the Ryde Hawks 0, trailing the Macarthur Orioles 5 runs.
Have you ever asked yourself, how can I best lose weight? How can I solve my arthritis problems? Or how can I lower my cholesterol naturally? Or maybe you just want tips on how to improve your general health. I'm Danielle Minabo, a qualified nutritionist with a passion for health and nutrition. Join me every Wednesday afternoon from midday here on Triple H for Health Matters. I'll be discussing areas of health, nutrition, disease prevention and treatment, lifestyle advice and much more. For more information about the show, go to our Facebook page, facebook.com/Radio Health Matters. So if you want help getting to a healthier, more energetic you, then join me for Health Matters, sponsored by Discount Vitamins in Hornsby, every Wednesday afternoon, midday to 12:30 p.m, right here on Triple H 100.1.
Triple H local community events.
Come down to the 2013 Greek Festival and experience the food, fun and festivities. There will be live music and entertainment, traditional Greek dance, authentic Greek food, as well as art and craft shops and carnival rides for the kids. Join us Sunday, 10th of March from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. Greenway Park, Cherrybrook, hosted by the Centerapron Greek Orthodox Church, Greek Orthodox Archdiocese of Australia.
Want to promote your next event to the Hornsby-Ku-ring-gai area? Triple H FM supports local community groups and non-profit organisations with regular community service announcements. For more information, call Triple H on 9489 3934 or email promotion@triplehfm.com.au.
And welcome back to Blue Sox Stadium, where Shane Fogarty will lead off the top of the 8th innings for the Macarthur Orioles. On the mound for Ryde Hawks, Derek Van Hilst came on in the last innings, and first pitch to Fogarty, fastball, driven foul down the third base side. So no balls and 1 strike on Shane Fogarty. Top of the 8th innings. Macarthur Orioles trying to win this game over the Ryde Hawks and take it to a Game 3 tomorrow afternoon, starting at 5 o'clock here, Sydney time. Of course, the third grade final starts at 9:30, second grade at 1 o'clock, and there's a high fly ball, a pop-up to second baseman Tim Green. Green underneath that one from Fogarty, makes the catch, no trouble whatsoever. Fly ball position 4, 1 up, 1 down the Orioles, and that will bring their first baseman Dean Hazel to the plate. Good pitching from Derek Van Hilst, just brought the field into play. And that's all he needs to do at the moment, is let the field get the outs. Try and keep a lid on the scoring machine of the Macarthur Orioles. But they still need to get the Ryde bats working. Tyler Doring, the pitcher for the Orioles. Doran doing a great job through his 7 innings so far as well.
Yeah, it's one thing to shut Macarthur down, Harrow. It's another to get these 5 runs back, and I think Macarthur would be happy if they don't score another run, provided the Ryde Hawks don't either.
Hazel drives one to deep centre field. It's high, but not too high. But Jake Clinch, the new centre fielder, cannot get underneath it and get the catch.
Been a change out there again.
Jake Clinch went out there to replace Nick Dimmers earlier.
There's been a change. John Hall is now patrolling centre field.
So Hall is out there.
And it might be Clinch in left field. It looks the same sort of make of a young fielder. Yeah, that'll be Clinch now in left field.
Okay, so John Hall making the catch in centre field.
So Clinch played the last inning in centre field and made the replacement. Now they've just adjusted into the field.
Here we are bringing Jake Clinch into play now. He makes the catch in the left field side. So Dean Hazel was out on a fly ball to 8 centre field, and Jake Webster came up to the plate and drive a high ball to left field, which went to Jake Clinch, Jake to Jake. So 3 up, 3 down. The Macarthur Orioles in the top of the 8th innings. That shuts down their attack, but they still lead this game halfway through the 8th by 5 runs to 0.
Now, when you need financial advice, contact Hickman & Richard Financial Planning. They have over 25 years' experience in the finance business. Call 9876 0177 for advice on investing, superannuation, personal protection and business partnership insurance, but especially financial planning. Hickman & Richard Financial Planning. Give Sean a call on 9876 0177 for an initial consultation. HRFP are proud sponsors of the Summer of Baseball broadcast. And as we said before, don't forget, if you'd like to contact us here at the Skybox, there are several ways that you can do it. SMS number here, 0412 203 068. That's 0412 203 068. Or you can send us an email, and the email address, baseball@triplehfm.com.au, or you could use the Twitterverse, and the way to get that is at Summer of Baseball with 1L. That is how you can contact us here at the Skybox.
Interesting conversation going on the mound there in front of us. Shane Benson came in to have a chat with Tyler Doran. He looked as though he was just insisting on Tyler Doran staying organised, staying level, don't overdo it, just get the outs. That's all you've got to do here. Let the field do the play. Let them all get involved. You don't need to strike everybody out. Work with your teammates. And the experience of Shane Benson certainly brought to the fore there. Let's see what Tyler Doran does. It's now the bottom of the 8th innings. Ryde Hawks coming up to bat. Their lead-off will be the aforementioned John Hall, now playing in centre field. Doran throws first pitch, fastball strike through the middle of the zone on Hall for a strike. So no balls, 1 strike on Hall. Doran now comes fastball again. It gets over the top of second baseman Matt Olsen. And John Hall safely at first base with a single to right field. And he gets something started for the Ryde Hawks as the lead-off. And I think he may be the first lead-off to get on base during the whole game, gentlemen.
And looking at the figures in front of me, Harrow, I agree with you 100%.
First time tonight in the bottom of the 8th innings, Ryde have been able to get their lead-off batter on base at all. So Doran now checks the runner over his shoulder. Comes to the plate. Tim Green is at the plate at the moment. The second baseman fouls off the first pitch for a strike. So no balls and 1 strike on Tim Green. Runner at first, as I said, is John Hall after a single to right field. Got over the head of second baseman Matty Olsen. Pick-off attempt now.
A little bit wild and woolly.
A little, but goes into the glove of Dean Hazel. Orioles have certainly got all their pitching strength up their sleeve. Tim Green fouls off the next pitch into the back net at Blue Sox Stadium. John Hall, standing at second base, looks around a little bit bemused and says, "What? I've got to go back and do it all again."
That's it. He stretched his legs out and got the... he was actually there quite comfortably in second base, but... yeah, as you said, unfortunately, fouled off, so as a result, he has to go all the way back.
Gentlemen, I did say it's the bottom of the 8th innings. Guess who's warming up in the bullpen for the Macarthur Orioles?
The Beard.
The Beard. Tim Green rung up on strikes there. Fastball outside edge. Tim Green down on a looking strike. 1 down now. Runner at first is still there. John Hall and Matt Williams warming up for the Orioles to close the last innings, I suspect. Fear the Beard.
I have absolutely no doubt.
Jake Clinch. Is it still Jake Clinch? Yes, it is. Steps up to the plate now with 1 out and 1 on base for the Ryde Hawks. Jake Clinch wearing shirt number 111. All ones.
Oh, you don't have that many numbers on a baseball top.
111.
Surely not.
111 being broadcast on Triple H. So Clinch now steps back into the batter's box. No balls and 1 strike with 1 out. And that ball goes wide into the left-handed batter's box. Well retrieved by Jake Webster, the catcher for the Orioles. Runner at first, John Hall. Gets off and gets a short lead now. Not too much there. Tyler Doran looks in hard, gets his signals off Jake Webster. A comebacker straight through the middle from Clinch, and that will get him around to first base safely. Straight out to centre field, straight through the middle of the diamond, and it moves John Hall around into scoring position for the Ryde Hawks at second base. So Clinch safely at first, single to 8, and John Hall in scoring position at second as we get a manager's visit from Jason Moyer, the Macarthur Orioles head coach.
Yeah, and that's just one of those things, Harrow, where it is only 5. It's 5 runs, but I still don't see the Ryde guys coming back from that situation. I still can't see it happening.
There is 1 out already in the bottom of the 8th innings, and we've got James Murphy coming to the plate, 2 runners on base. They've got a lot of work to do in this bottom of the 8th innings, the Ryde Hawks.
And we've just been doing a little bit of background checking, and that email that we got from Kathy, it looks like there might be a problem back at the studio
Triple
side
H
of
streaming,
because but if you just log on to Ustream, you won't have any problems whatsoever as far as getting hold of us.
Yeah, the easy way to get to that is through the sbl.baseball.com.au website. Click on Ustream. Next pitch from Doran, fastball, misses the outside edge that time for a ball on James Murphy, I should say. Jack Murphy, of course, is the catcher for the Canberra Cavalry. James Murphy at the plate now.
The one who you want to see in Sydney.
That's right.
If he comes back again next year for the Australian Baseball League.
Murphy drives one straight to shortstop. Shane Fogarty off to his second baseman, Matt Olsen. Matt Olsen turns the double play to Dean Hazel. All done and dusted for the Ryde Hawks in the bottom of the 8th innings. It will be Jake Clinch, the second out on the first half of the double play. James Murphy, the third out on the second end of the double play. So after 8 completed innings, it is the Ryde Hawks trailing the Macarthur Orioles by 5 runs to 0.
Hi, this is Taman Sursok for RAD, recording artists, actors and athletes against drink driving. Music's one of the most important things in my life, but nothing's more important than life itself. So if you drink and drive, you're risking your life and the lives of everyone on the road. So before you go out for a few drinks, plan ahead. Stay the night somewhere close, share a taxi, catch public transport, or arrange a designated driver who won't drink. You'll make the road a safer place for all of us.
Hi, I'm Angela from Wesley, and I love the Shambles on Triple H 100.1.
If you want to know why Angela loves the Shambles on Triple H 100.1, be sure to tune in every Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. Best music and the best talk. Angela loves it. I'm sure you will too. Check it out.
And welcome back. It's just after, it's about 5 minutes past the hour of 9 o'clock here, coming to you live from Blacktown International Sports Park. And there's another change on the mound for the Ryde side. So, Todd Van Steensel, he's doing a little bit of work as well. So, definitely the Ryde pitchers are getting a little bit of a workover at the moment as we go into the top of the 9th inning. And it will be the
top of the order.
Top of the order. That's it. I was just sort of working that out. And it's Dane Wigg followed by, it's not Mal Ismail because he actually
Dan Fulham. Dan Fulham hit for him. If they keep that same order and Fulham stays in the game, he will hit again for Mal Ismail. So he'll take over the DH role for the night.
And then it would be Shane Benson batting in the 3, then Shannon Hislop, and it could be anything happening whatsoever.
I've got a feeling Macarthur will just not give it up here in the top of the 9th, but I don't think they'll be too perturbed should they go 3 up, 3 down on this occasion, because they just want to get into the field, get 3 up and 3 down of their own, and organise what they're going to do tomorrow afternoon to get themselves into a rematch with the Borkham Hills Kookaburras for the championship.
Yeah, and if that does go that way, Cam, it will be a very, very spicy encounter, I believe, because there was a little bit of feeling.
There will be feeling. And it, of course, is all for all the chocolates in the championship series. It's all or nothing in that. Van Steensel starts off with a strike here to Dane Wigg. It is Fulham in the on-deck circle and Benson in the hole for the Orioles. Van Steensel on the mound for the Hawks. Second pitch on its way now, and it's a slider from Todd Van Steensel. Misses down and outside, 1-1. And Todd, of course, having another good season with the Sydney Blue Sox this year. Working in sort of middle to end relief for the Blue Sox, trying to be a setup man, trying to get to the likes of Dae-Sung Koo and the person Williams. That he will probably be his opposition closing pitcher tonight in Matt Williams. So Van Steensel on the mound with 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch on its way, swung on, lifted high into foul territory between first and the plate. Matt O'Neill will come down the line and catch it in foul territory. And the Macarthur Orioles lose their first out here in the top of the 9th.
Yeah, and now that will bring to the plate, as we did say, it's definitely number 52, Dan Fulham. So Dan Fulham, his first at bat that he actually did have, he ground into a double play. So
does have a pretty handy first grade batting average of 429, but having said that,
it's only 7
only with
at-bats.
7 at bats.
But even so, it doesn't really matter at the end of the day if you can still hold over 300 in any of the leagues.
Those stats go into history, so we can always say that I had a closing end of season batting average of 429.
Oh dear, yeah, that's
as Van Steensel finds a strike now, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, top of the 9th inning. And so Van Steensel settles on the mound, kicks up that leg, fires in the curveball, misses downstairs for 2 balls and 1 strike rather. So 2-1 on Dan Fulham. Van Steensel settles on the mound again, comes to the plate, fastball, misses up and probably outside as well. The 3-1 now for Dan Fulham. Looking to get himself on board for the first time tonight and maybe give the Orioles a chance of even adding an extra insurance run. The 3-1 pitch is swung on and fouled off by Fulham, who got himself in an awkward body position.
That was ugly. No other way to describe that one, Cam, because he dropped his shoulder, his back shoulder, and swung up high.
Almost was swinging off the back foot with a dropped shoulder, which makes it awfully hard to hit the ball. 3-2 pitch on its way. Strike 3. Dan Fulham has rung up on strikes, and Todd Van Steensel gets the second out for the Hawks at the plate.
And if Dan Fulham was actually swinging a golf club, that ball would have been well and truly in the scrub somewhere, the way he would have shanked that big time. Shane Benson about to step into the batting box.
Benson has had a good night with the bat. He has had 2 doubles, a double to centre, a double to right to go along with a put out at first base and a ground out to third base. And Van Steensel starts in with a strike. Using a big bright orange bat is Shane Benson. Almost the same colour as his uniform. 0-1 pitch is a curveball. He rips it into a hole between third and shortstop. And Benson will pick up his third base hit of the evening. 3 for 5 tonight. Shane Benson in a great display of hitting. And is probably one of the reasons why he got a Blue Sox jersey at third base last season.
Yeah, and as I was saying at his last at-bat, he was 6 for 18 coming into... And this is just the games against Baulkham Hills and Ryde. So the semi-final side of things. So he's picked up his game big time tonight.
Which is what you want from your big game players, your Blue Sox representatives.
Certainly has. So he's 3 for 5 tonight. And now Shannon Hislop in the batting box.
And that will be 1 ball on Shannon Hislop as the first pitch from Van Steensel misses inside.
Gents, I would have thought the Baulkham Hills Kookaburras would have had some representation out here watching these games. They will have to play one of these teams on Wednesday night.
Yeah, there are. There was a couple of Kookaburras sitting on the speakers. They were chasing the moths.
You can't be in the old gum tree anymore because you've got to pay for that.
I know. They're watching it on Ustream, the summer of baseball.
I'm sure they would be.
And they can watch the replays as many times as they want during the week.
So 1-1 pitch on its way from Van Steensel. Misses downstairs. 2 balls and 1 strike. Yep, 2 balls and 1 strike on... Could even be 2 balls and 2 strikes on Shannon Hislop.
Or they can come out tomorrow.
They could for game 3.
Because is there not a third and a second grade Baulkham Hills team playing?
Yes, there is.
Rips that one. Foul, long drive was that one, but it's going to end up out on the entrance road and may end up tagging some of those people out there that were collecting money if they're still hanging around out there. So Hislop now with a 2-2 count. Van Steensel reaches back, fires a fastball, misses outside, and that will fill the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So a full count with a runner on first and 2 out. Shane Benson is that runner. He should be going, although Shane has had some leg problems, so he may just be ambling along on the pitch. He does take off. This pitch is hit high into foul territory. Going back after it will be Parrish, but it will get out of play. And back will come Shannon Hislop. Back will go Shane Benson. And we will reset at 3-2 with 2 out in the top of the 9th inning and do it all again. The Macarthur Orioles, they've got a stranglehold on this one. It is 5-0 over the Ryde Hawks. All they need to do is get into the bottom of the dig and shut the Hawks out.
And I'm sure that I'm pretty confident that we won't see Tyler Doran. I'm pretty sure we'll see the beard.
Another 3-2 pitch misses downstairs. They're going to ask for a swing and they're going to get given it at first base.
Wow.
And Shannon Hislop cannot believe that. He's not too concerned with the fact that it's a 5-0, but he is concerned that he's going to get chalked up with a K2 at the plate rather than a base on balls for the 3rd out. And he just stands with his hands aghast at Bobby Crawford down the 3rd base line, and he goes down on strikes. The Orioles are gone in the top of the 9th, and they will bounce out of their dugout looking for 3 outs to win this game. As we just tried to have a quick little commercial break there before we went into the bottom of the 9th, but unfortunately we couldn't get that in.
And it looks like there's definitely something going wrong at the studio end of things. We're getting host computer issues and whole lot of stuff.
The streaming dropping in and out.
Yeah, so unfortunately, community radio, we're not doing the best that it can at the moment as we.
Yeah, and it's not Fear the Beard as we thought. Fear the Beard may be being kept for tomorrow as a middle or longer used reliever. It is their 2nd grade gun. No, it's not their 2nd grade gun.
No, it's not. It's still Tyler. It is still Tyler Doran. The ref. That's Harrow. The umpire Trent Thomas is actually pointing to the outfield. So there's actually pointing towards left field, and that was Shannon Hislop. But looking at the fellow out there, he's got a very, very clean pair of strides on, so I'm guessing that it's not Shannon
he's a
Hislop.
very young fellow. He's a very wiry young fellow out there, so we'll try and get
And it doesn't look like Kai Hislop at right field either.
The Hislop brothers may have come out of this game. No, that's certainly sort of an African-American looking gentleman out there.
Yeah, so
there's a change out there as well, but we'll concentrate on the plate action and try and bring you some updates out to the positional players when we get a chance. We'll stay in the middle with Doran facing Matt O'Neill. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 pitch almost gets away from Jake Webster, who drags it back in and holds it up. So 1 ball and 1 strike now becomes 2 balls and 1 strike on Matt O'Neill. So 2-1.
Bring it and find it.
So 2-1 as Doran comes to the plate. That one misses downstairs. 3 balls and 1 strike on Matt O'Neill. So 3-1 is the count. As Matt O'Neill looks to get aboard and give the Ryde Hawks a glimmer of life. 3-1 pitch finds its zone, and that will fill the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes on Matt O'Neill here in the bottom of the 9th. Ryde, can they find a way to dig themselves out of danger and go straight through to the championship series, or are Macarthur going to force a game 3 tomorrow afternoon? Doran reaches in, fires out, strike 3, and Matt O'Neill gets caught looking. Not happy about it is Matt O'Neill, but he knows better than to stand around. He just wanders back to the dugout. Strike 3 against his name, and 1 of the 3 outs for Ryde here in the bottom of the 9th are done and dusted.
Yeah, and that will bring to the plate Luke Parrish. So Luke Parrish, is he the one that's going to start a little bit of a rally for the Ryde Hawks?
Not with this one. It's lifted. Oh, he may. It's dying into centre field quickly, but Wigg charges in and makes a good catch out there in centre field. It was dying quickly, and Wigg had to hurry as hard as he could in from centre field to make a running catch in centre field, and Ryde are now down to their last out. It will be Daniel Illingworth coming to the plate for the Hawks. And can he keep things going? Tyler Doran looking for the shutout. They have not been able to manufacture any runs tonight. Ryde on 6 hits and a couple of errors themselves. Macarthur have made no errors tonight, so they've been good in the field, and that's what hurt them in game 1. Doran to the plate. It's a high fly ball. This could be it. Going back is Hazel. Coming across is Olsen. Coming in is the right fielder,
Andre Benjamin.
Andre Benjamin it is in
number
right field.
27.
And he takes the catch that will end this ball game. And Andre Benjamin gets a big pat on the back from the Orioles that have seen him out there. And so Tyler Doran will get the complete game shutout here in the postseason. A fantastic performance that from Tyler Doran. Some great hitting by Shane Benson and the Macarthur Orioles. And as it turns out, the Orioles, they run out 5-0 winners over the Ryde Hawks, and will set up a do-or-die semi-final tomorrow afternoon at 5 o'clock, where the winner takes all and goes to the championship series, and the loser departs the competition for 2012-2013.
They certainly will, and we've had confirmation about those 2nd grade and 3rd grade games tomorrow. They're going to be a pretty big outing for both the clubs involved, and that is Baulkham Hills and Ryde. And of course, a big night here tonight for the Macarthur Orioles. The Ryde Hawks trying to shut them down 2 games straight, but not to be. We go to game 3 in that final series tomorrow afternoon. First pitch will be at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, Sydney time. But lots of baseball. If you've got nothing to do tomorrow, come out. There's a 3rd grade game at 9:30. There's a 2nd grade game at 1 o'clock and a 1st grade game 3 at 5 p.m.
And Harrow, it looks like you and I are both out of the box, the tipping box here, because you tipped Macarthur.
There's only one alive.
I didn't tip anyone tonight.
You tipped Macarthur to win the series.
I've given up.
2-0.
Well, I think I'm still right.
And I had Ryde.
Well, not 2-0.
No, you had 2-0.
Impossible.
And I had Ryde in 2. So, Cam, it looks like you're the only one that's up and running at the moment.
And that's a concern.
That is a big concern, absolutely. As both teams, and unfortunately, the camera angle, I've got a little bit dodgy
Just
today.
doesn't pick it up.
Just doesn't pick up both sides, because both the squads, and it's a totally different outlook than what I saw for the under-18s, because I was a little bit concerned after the game for the under-18s, because The Manly guys that were over there, they only had about 11 people, including coaches.
I think there was 12 total, including 2 coaches, and Cronulla had 15, including 2 coaches.
And there was 2 coaches, and we know that there was a very happy Cole the Shark after that game, because we did actually have a hello. It was a concern from... You're coming into a final side of things, and you would expect you have a lot more people there, as we can see on the first and third base side at the moment. Macarthur Orioles, there's in excess of 20 people there, in excess. Same deal on the Ryde side, just behind third base.
Mac, Wednesday night the crowd was well over 100, probably 200 people on Wednesday night. You saw me go out and stand out the front here and count them. And that was a good crowd. It will be bigger and it will be better. And for people that do come out tomorrow, no matter what time you come here, don't forget the facilities are open. The Pirates have got a great canteen going here. You get hot chips, Chico rolls, hot dogs, some of the best hot dogs. They really
wedges,
are. The cold drinks,
Pluto
the
puffs,
wedges with chili sauce and sour cream, sensational. Come out here and taste some of the Pirates fare.
All day long. They're here from the very first pitch to the very last pitch down there.
Here very early this afternoon, 1 o'clock, 12 o'clock
for the women's
today.
game. Yep.
Women's games were here, the under-18s game.
But they're here all the time. When this place is open, the Pirates Cove is open, and you can
I can actually say, if you specifically come out here and have a Chico roll, because I did have one today.
I saw you finishing it off.
Absolutely brilliant. They cooked it a little bit longer for me.
You wouldn't even talk to me until you finished it.
No, and plenty of salt.
Oh, yeah, that's good for you.
Oh, it is. It's absolutely fantastic.
So the under-18s, with that result today, it means next Saturday, the under-18s grand final game will be played here at Blue Sox Stadium between the Central Coast Marlins and the Cronulla Sharks. It'll be a battle of the fish.
What time?
On Saturday, and it will be at 11 o'clock on Saturday morning. Caress our palms with silver, we could broadcast at 11 o'clock Saturday morning. Probably not.
Not on the radio, we couldn't.
Well, you guys,
no, but we could on
Ustream.
We certainly could on Ustream. If we had a sponsor, we could do that. Cronulla versus the Marlins at 11 o'clock next Saturday at Blue Sox Stadium, followed by the Women's A-Grade Grand Final at, I think, 2 o'clock, followed by what will be Game 2 of the First Grade Grand Final Series at 7 o'clock next Saturday night between Baulkham Hills and the winner of Game 3 tomorrow night between Ryde and Macarthur.
Who's it going to be?
Oh, yes, it's going to be a real arm wrestle tomorrow afternoon, and it could go anybody's way. I'm still tipping Macarthur Orioles.
And I'm not going to change my call as far as the Ryde Hawks, but it was very scary tonight seeing the way that the Macarthur Orioles have just spun themselves around, because they actually got tagged big time by the Baulkham Hills Kookaburras.
Yeah, but it was on the back of a very dominant pitching performance by Tyler Doran tonight.
Yeah, but the club itself, it looks like that their energy level has been picked up just by the injection of Matty Williams.
Yes, I've just got a message here through the SMS system talking about the Pirates Cove and the good fare that they put on the food, and the message is, no wonder you've put weight on. all of us have put weight on.
No, I keep going down.
Oh, of course you do. So there you go. Yes, we have put the odd. I can't tell you who it's from. I don't divulge my sources.
No, you just have them on your wedges.
Sweet chili,
sauce on the wedges.
Barbecue.
All delivered to broadcast booth, of course. And there you go. So under 18's grand final, we know who that's going to be. Of course, the winners of third grade and second grade tomorrow will play the grand final next Sunday morning, again 9:30 and 1 o'clock out here at Blue Sox Stadium. So it's a big week of baseball coming up. We're going to bail out. It's coming up to 9:30. We're going to take an early mark, I think.
And hopefully overnight we're going to be able to get the studio issues sorted out, because we know that it is definitely the studio's end. And for those that have tried to listen via the Triple H website or the TuneIn radio side of things, we do apologise, but one sure way of getting hold of us is via the Ustream side of things, because we've touch wood, we haven't had serious problems with that.
There we go.
Well, the problems have been operator, and I'll stick my hand up well and truly for that. So it's not necessarily a technical side of things, which is what's failing at the studio at the moment.
Yeah, so we'll see if we can get it rectified.
Don't know.
Yep, never know. All right, we're going to leave you with a couple of little messages and tunes from the studio.
Hopefully.
As we cut back to there, hopefully, for those of you watching on Ustream, please tune in again tomorrow afternoon at around about 4:45, 15 minutes before game time, and we'll do a little bit of a preview of this all-important Game 3 of the final series from Blue Sox Stadium. Good night. Have a wonderful night. Hopefully you'll view again tomorrow. Bye for now.
See ya.
Thanks for watching and listening.
Get hot with the summer of baseball with your callers Harrow, PMAC and You're listening to the summer of baseball with Harrow, PMAC and Cam.
John Snelson here. I was brought up on rock and roll and chips. These days I'm the editor of Get Shot magazine, a special publication